Welcome, everyone, to Off the Mat, your new wrestling obsession. Tonight, we got a great show for you. We're talking all the fallout from Backlash. What the hell exactly is the John Cena Classic? And are we actually at that turning point where Tony Khan got in his bathtub, got his AEW wrestling action figures together, and started telling real compelling stories? Is AEW actually starting to be more professional wrestling than WWE? We're gonna talk about that all and so much more, as we also have our Backlash recap to find out who is the new Off the Mat IWC champion, or is Eric gonna make it a back-to-back week? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday night. As always, what I got with me, Sticks and Domtober, and we are ready to fill you in and fill your world with all of your professional wrestling needs. Dom, Sticks, how you doing tonight, boys?
I am doing fantastic. A little tired, man. Body doesn't recover quick enough when you train 4 days in a row and 5 days in a row type of a thing. Not when you're young, but I feel good. Glad to be talking wrestling. A lot of wrestling. It seems like every week there's more things happening outside the wrestling ring instead of the wrestling itself. But
sure,
yeah. But
wrestling, what's that? I just come for the ads.
Exactly, the ads, and come for the backstage promos, and find out that your favorite wrestler
or lack thereof
wrestlers aren't even on. Where are they?
Yeah, I want to get your guys' opinion on something, because I've been trying to up our game a little bit, up the channel, up our presence a little bit. So I've been doing some shorts, and I got into it with an argument with a guy on one of my shorts, and I'll call him out here, I guess. No drama or shade, but
I hate it when guys argue about my shorts.
Yeah. This dude, Niakane9194, commented on my short about the Los Garza. And if you don't know, Los Garza on Monday night or last Friday night, they got their asses stomped out by Royce Keys, like he was Braun Strowman, just destroying tag teams. Then Monday, and so right after that happens, they post a picture of themselves on Twitter being Thanos snapped away. Then we come to Monday Night Raw, and we get the debacle that is this Obafemi Open Challenge.
There we ruined them.
Somehow, Los Garza, who was just destroyed on Friday night, happens to be standing in Gorilla Monday night, and Los Garza gets destroyed by Obafemi.
I have a real quick question on that. How do you get destroyed by Royce Keys, and then the next day you still have these lovely ladies hanging off you?
I mean, they were probably telling a story about how Royce Keys was crying on their shoulder or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Hey, come on. Royce Keys is a very sensitive guy, man.
He is. He's a very sensitive monster. But, then they get destroyed by Obafemi. So I put this video out there about Los Garza, and because then they black out their Twitter and they all but make it feel like they're saying goodbye, right? And I don't know if this is just the new WWE thing to do, where all the superstars are going to play into this whole like rumors of backstage layoffs and cuts and all that. But I made a video and I said, where the hell has Bailey been? Where the hell is LA Knight? Where the hell is what are you doing, Los Garza? And I've been met, and it happened on TikTok, and it happened on YouTube Shorts with, well, you don't watch the product. What the hell are you talking about? Bailey was just on AAA. Bailey was just on AAA Saturday night. What do you mean they're not using Bailey? Am I the asshole in this and thinking that, like, they're not using Bailey on the main roster, so therefore they're not using Bailey? And my defense was, okay, so she showed up in AAA, but AAA isn't WWE TV. It's not main roster TV.
Nope.
So she's technically, effectively not being used in WWE.
No,
regardless if WWE / TKO owns AAA.
So on your defense, you're absolutely right. They're not using them on the main roster TV, and supposedly LA Knight and Bailey are laid off of regular television, whatever that means. Laid off, there's no story for them. Of what I heard is that Los Gaza and Bailey, they're Latin. They want to build up the AAA product. So Los Gaza is going to AAA. They're leaving the main roster to go with AAA to build up the AAA brand. That's what I heard and what I read about that. Bailey, they're using her for that. But that being said, we watched the product. We know what's going on. The main roster, Raw SmackDown, is the main roster. AAA is an affiliate that's owned by WWE. That's not main rosters. You can watch it on YouTube. It's not USA Network, not Netflix. There's no story that's going on, which makes no sense, because it seems like all the people they released, there's no women, the women's roster. Now all of a sudden you don't have women. All of a sudden, like, somebody actually made a big point. Think about this. Friggin' Jade Cargill, right? She had no opponents. Nobody to fight her. Right? Nobody to fight her. All of a sudden, Rhea Ripley wins. All of a sudden, they got people to fight her.
They had to call up JC Jane and
I know, but I'm saying, but that being said, they don't know what to do. And like I said, Bailey is me personally, like, this whole pay cut thing, this and that. I think they turned around and told Bailey, listen, we have nothing for you here. Do us a favor, work AAA, a couple of nights, a couple of shows, AAA, this and that, until we have something for you to call you back up, so you don't lose, the mobility of not wrestling and not doing anything, just sitting on the sidelines.
Right.
And those guys are like, what were they doing you see, this is my thing. You depleted the whole freaking goddamn tag team roster on SmackDown. And in Raw, there's really nobody. You brought back Montel Ford and friggin' the Street Profits, you brought them back. They've been off TV for the longest time. But you got rid of the Wyatt Six. You got rid of freaking Motor City Machine Guns. You got rid of where's the Viking Raiders? Where the hell are they? You haven't seen them.
And they've been on AAA a couple of times too.
Yeah,
regulated down.
But it's like you're building up a brand with these these guys that you haven't used in the main roster, which really suck. People want to see the main roster. Then we were just talking about Carmelo Hayes, Dragunov. These guys. Where the hell are these guys been? But we're going off the thing. But
we have a gingerbread man funeral.
Oh, gingerbread man funeral, and then you wind up having the friggin' John Cena open challenge. You get the Obafemi's open challenge. All this shit is bullshit. They have no story.
They announced this John Cena open challenge thing, and we're gonna get into it on our over the top or off the top rope segment. But they announced that, and now coming out, like, they have no idea what the hell it's gonna be, and they had no idea what the hell it was gonna be when John Cena was announcing it. It was very clear.
This could be a complete mess.
Oh, it's going to be. It's going to be an absolute failure.
You know why it's going to be a complete mess? I'm going to tell you. You could still win even though you lose. What the hell is that? But anyway, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But that's just my thing. And I think that's what it's coming down to is I definitely think there's secret layoffs. And there's secret layoffs behind the scenes. And it's, in effect, we're going to talk about LA Knight, too. He's one of the biggest ones. But I really think that there's going to be a lot of these superstars that they either approached to take a 50% pay cut, like we heard the rumors about the New Day and all that, or they approached these superstars before WrestleMania and said, listen, after WrestleMania, creatively, we've got nothing for you. So you can either take a pay cut or we're going to lay you off. We're going to keep you off TV for a couple of months until we get closer to SummerSlam. We're going to just try to get through Backlash, Clash in Paris. We're going to get through the Saudi show, And then as we round the corner to SummerSlam, we'll start revamping some of you up and bringing you back. So that way we don't have to pay you premiums for coming to TV and all that. I really feel like that's what's happening and it's about to happen. And that's why, it makes sense that Bayley's in AAA and Los Garza is going to be used in AAA, because from everyone I've talked to and all the words backstage and all the dirt sheets, Los Garza is not going anywhere. They're highly liked in WWE, and they're going to be used in AAA more, which AAA sounds like it's in shambles itself, because they announced that 2-night Triple Mania during Backlash, and now apparently their whole goal was to try and do 1 night in the US and 1 night in Mexico, and now they're having trouble getting some of the talent and crews visas to get into the United States to be able to do a show here. So it would probably have to be a WWE produced show here, and where they haven't been able to secure an arena for it. And they originally just wanted to do it 1 night in Mexico. So who knows what's going to happen with all that. But that's just my thing. It's like, I wanted to see if like-minded people, if I was crazy by saying, listen, like, Bayley has not been used on the main roster. Bayley is not where she should be. She's a main player. She's all but disappeared. Cool, she showed up in AAA. That's like saying, and my defense was like, yeah, that's cool. She showed up in AAA. That's like Karrion Kross showing up at an ID or at a WWE ID developmental program, and you saying that he re-signed with the company. That
look, this is what's going to happen now. The way things are going. Well, look, we'll probably get into the fact that they brought back house shows, which, house shows are very important to help wrestlers know their opponents more, to wrestle more than not just freaking winging it when the time comes. I
was kind of hoping we talk about that, because
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, okay. Well, if we get into that later, I kind of have a theory on that.
Definitely, because
we can talk about it now, because I actually did not include anything in house shows.
I didn't do it then.
No, because I was going to leave that for you for the Dirty Dom Dirt Sheets. I didn't know if you were going to talk about that.
We can save it for the Dirt Sheets.
All right, well, later on we'll get back. We'll talk about that.
Save it for later.
But I
just want to say one thing. I just want to say one thing really quick about Bayley, and I want to go back to something that you've said in the past, Matt, that Bayley has been kind of the developmental, kind of like what they're using the Miz for. They might be using Miz, and then so I think that might be where she might be. She might be doing this developmental stuff, maybe down at the down in Florida there, and I don't think she's going anywhere as far as the company is concerned, unless she decides to go somewhere.
Yeah. Also,
I think it's a lot like last year. Remember, after last year, after WrestleMania, she disappeared. She wasn't even at WrestleMania last year because Becky Lynch took her spot, and she disappeared for like 6 months.
Well, look, her not being here, Lila Valkyria is not being featured either, and she was up and coming this and that, so she's off television too.
Which makes me wonder if they're pulling a Wyatt 6 and Lyra might actually be hurt or have time off, and so since they don't have Lyra in their tag team, they're not utilizing Bayley. Yeah,
that could be a big point too. But look, I can see that it's kind of a smart business and branding scenario for WWE to use Bayley in AAA, to use wrestlers that are well known here in the States on that brand, to build up that brand, because they really do have high hopes for the AAA. Look, for God's sakes, Dominic has been the AAA freaking goddamn champion for freaking over 8 months, and he freaking goddamn fought 1 time.
Yeah, I was really hoping he was going to lose it to El Grande Americano on Monday night.
Yeah. So, but that being said, I was hoping too, but I knew that El Grande, the original El Grande is going to be fighting El Grande. They're gonna do that mask versus mask.
That mask for mask, yeah.
That's gonna happen.
31st.
But
30th. Yeah.
Other than that, man, it's like it's all this private chat. You got Asuka taking personal time off, or she's dealing with some stuff that she's still part of the company, but she's taking time off for personal things.
And that's kind of where I was going with the my thought process behind the layoff thing, because Kairi Sane, apparently, whatever side you believe, if you believe WWE, she had time off planned to go back to Japan after WrestleMania, and they gave it to her, but decided to lay her off. And now, if you believe whatever's going on with Asuka, WWE is saying, oh, well, this is a planned trip. Asuka had it planned. She had family issues she needed to take care of. She asked Triple H. Triple H gave her the time. Who knows if was asked to take a pay cut, and maybe she's going back to Japan to talk over her next move with her family, or whatever she's gonna do.
But she signed a 4-year deal or 5-year deal that they were talking about, that she's still planned, but she's taking time off. So this is my thing. The time off part is, if you're off a certain amount of time, your contract could be neutralized, right? Correct? Like if you take time off, that
usually they add time. They don't take your contract away. They don't neutralize your contract. Like, they can add time to it for injury and things like that, but I don't remember them ever neutralizing someone's contract just
because if you're off television, if not being used, they can automatically take away money. It could be 50%, a pay cut. Like if you're not being used.
I think you get a per diem for being on TV. So if you're at TV, you get more money than you would do. I think they give you, I don't know, I would assume they give you like a base pay, and then you get like bonuses and incentives if you're at TV.
Sure.
That's why they pay people to just hang out backstage.
And then, look, another thing too is, like, Randy Orton, is he hurt? I'm hearing rumors that his back's a little fucked up. I'm hearing he's off television. There's no story for him right now, but it makes no freaking sense because of the bad taste. McAfee and all that whole storyline went. They kind of like are using him because they want to try to, let the crowd settle before they bring him back out, which makes no sense. It's stupid. You got a superstar like that, and you're gonna throw guns. And look, it's just there's like so much going on, and it kind of sucks because you want to go to a wrestling match and want to see your favorite wrestler. You want to watch a show and see your favorite wrestler in there, and nobody's there. Everybody's gone. It's sad, but.
And I think a lot of it too is it's the time of year. SmackDown's going to 2 hours. It's going to the summer, so they're just furloughing people until the fall when SmackDown goes back to 3 hours, and they need people, and they're going to try and do whatever they can through the summer with a skeleton crew, which brings me to our shoot segment where we sound off and everything. And for the shoot segment, I want to talk NXT call-ups. We are 3 weeks into the call-ups of NXT, and we have seen superstars on the main roster that have been called up just absolutely get misused. Sol Ruka is 0-2 on her debut on the main roster. She dropped a big one to Liv Morgan, which was fine because it was the night after WrestleMania, and Liv Morgan just won the title. Understandable. But then you have her drop another one to Io Sky.
It was a great match.
Well, then you have her miss a week, and then you have her drop another one to Io Sky. But the Io Sky match, I was okay with it, but I felt like there was a lot of feeling out, and I think that goes to the credit of the house show thing. The first half of the match was a lot of feeling out. They were going slow.
Yeah, it was
moves looked sloppy. They didn't look set up.
What did I kept saying in the chat to you? You kept saying, Becky Lynch is coming out. Becky Lynch is coming out. She didn't come out.
Yeah. How do you not progress the storyline with it?
Exactly.
When you had Becky and Sol Ruka,
you show her in the
program Raw before where she signed her contract. Yeah. You don't have Becky show up here. You don't start setting any kind of scenes for any upcoming PLEs. And like the PLEs really feel like we're going to alternate. Roman was on Backlash. He won't be at Clash. It's going to be Cody Rhodes. And, is Cody Rhodes going to do double duty and be in Saudi? Who knows? But
apparently this is what I heard. I could leave it for the dirt sheets, but we could talk a little bit more about it. Word on the street is that Gunther they want to put the belt on Gunther.
I'm sure they do.
Because they want the Saudi fight. They want Roman Reigns versus Gunther at Saudi. They want to have that match.
Night of Champions is champion versus champion,
Yeah.
so it's going to be.
Yeah, so that's what they want. They want to have that, and that's what they're trying to aim at. And
Roman might be hurt. Roman, there's speculation that Roman might have a legitimate wrist injury right now.
A wrist injury, also a cracked rib.
So
that's what I think. That's what I read. I read something that because, dude, I'm gonna tell you, Jacob Fatu, when you make him go beast mode, he's good.
But back to the topic at hand, the rant. We are 3 weeks in to the NXT call-ups. What's your guys' thoughts now on the call-ups of Sol Ruca, Ethan Page, Fatal Influence, and Ricky Starks?
Well, I'm going to tell you this really quick. Fatal Influence, they're changing creative to give them more screen time and more interaction because of the nuclear noise they are getting. And that tells you that they're pushing them down, and they're changing stories and changing creative to get them more TV time to push them up. So Fatal Influence, they're already on top of the game, and people hate them so much they're that good to be villainous. Ethan Page, I like the story. He's involved in the Intercontinental Championship right off the bat, and they're doing good. He's been very strong. You know, he freaking pinned Penta, man. Come on. You know, he's getting his play. The Sol Ruca thing, I'm actually a little like just bewildered with that scratching the head scratcher on that why she 0-2. Like I understand Liv Morgan, of course, champion after WrestleMania, this and that. You know, it's the same thing with Ricky Saints. What they pushed Ricky Saints, and you know, he lost that damn match to Cody, which really hurt his popularity, and people hate him. He doesn't seem like he's fitting in. You know, I know it's only 2 weeks in, but he's fighting Matt Cardona. You know, he's doing that, but he kind of like the crowd interaction is not there. That really pushing it. Yeah. Like you see the crowd interaction with Ethan Page. Ethan Page comes out, people they hate him. He's out there. He's already making the crowd hate him because the way he is. He's doing what he's supposed to do. But Ricky Saints ain't working on that. You know, as of right now, it's
what do you think it is with Ricky? Do you think it's people just not watching the NXT product, so they're not familiar with him?
I don't think people watched him in AEW when he was in AEW.
Do you think his character just doesn't work on the main roster?
You know, he was such a good wrestler in AEW. You know, him and Ethan Page made names for themselves in AEW, and they were good. You know, and you know, even in the NXT, he still didn't have what Ethan Page had. Ethan Page really made a name for himself in NXT that translates into the main roster. So I don't know, Ricky Saints. I think, you know, the way they handled him in his debut against Cody Rhodes, I think that's what messed him up. Mm-hmm. I think, like I said, Gunther should have came out, interfered. You would have saved Ethan. You would have saved the friggin' Ricky Saints. You know, he didn't lose. You know, because so you would have had Gunther come in and take both out and interfere in that. So you would have saved him. So his first win against Matt Cardona could have been a lot better, you know, last week. Mm-hmm. But as of right now, for the wrestlers that came up, you know, like I said, Fatal Influence, Ethan Page, and
Ricky Saints and Sol Ruca.
It's like
and Obafemi.
Obafemi, but Obafemi, he came, yeah. But I got to talk about Obafemi. The whole fact is with Obafemi,
he was kind of more of like the early call-ups, because I mean you could put him in the class with like Javon Evans.
Yeah, they came up before WrestleMania.
Jordan Grace.
Yeah. Jordan Grace. Yeah. That was a whole different thing. This new batch, like Jordan Grace ain't getting the love that she got in TNA. And
she's been hurt, but she hasn't really been given a chance. She's been hurt.
She got hurt, yeah.
And now we've got this whole scandal going around with her nudes being leaked, and it just apparently WWE has nothing against that because they were taken from an old hacked Snapchat account, and they were for her husband, so they're not like OnlyFans or anything like that related. But I really think you're building for the future so much so that you're going to create an entire championship around that with this John Cena fucking debacle, and you're going to just bury your new superstars. Like Sol Ruka got such a huge pop on Saturday Night Main Event when she beat Bayley that her name has been in everybody's mouth since then about call up, she's ready, call up, she's ready. Then she shows up on Raw after WrestleMania, has a great match with Liv by all intents and purposes, but she shouldn't have lost that match to Liv. It should have ended in a no contest. Then she takes a week off to sign her contract. Cool. She's put in a program with Becky. They're putting her where I said to put her, right in the Intercontinental Championship picture. And then you don't even use the next Monday night to further that storyline, because you could have had Io show up and wrestle Becky for that title to lead the Io Asuka. You could still continue that, and you could have Becky interfere in Io and Sol Ruka's match, and then you have this three-way for the Women's Intercontinental Championship between Becky, Io, and Sol Ruka. You could have made a program, and that's where like this creative is just so far gone, man. And you really should have had all of them future endeavored when they were laying off all this other talent, because their creative just isn't there. It's like, what are we doing? Where's your thought process? Why aren't we building stories? I understand that you were trying to get past Backlash. Backlash is gone. Now you have to build towards actual PLEs. You have a Clash in Paris. You have, the Saudi show that's already apparently sold out.
Yep.
There's not even a single match announced. There's not even a match card, and it's already sold out. It shows that the Saudis the people are dedicated to WWE, and that's fantastic. I hope they have a great time at this PLE and at WrestleMania next year. But WWE, the creative process just is not there. It's not there. And you're if I'm Triple H, I would have been absolutely fucking embarrassed that my name is on the end credits of that SmackDown, that abysmal abortion of a SmackDown they put out last Friday night, headlined by the Gingerbread Man funeral.
Unbelievable.
I serious think that they're figuring out TKO wants to destroy wrestling, the product, and just say hell with it and wipe their hands clean and get away from it. That's what it looks like. Like you got the future. There's a lot of you got a lot of bright stars on the brands that are going to be your next the next decade. Making names for themselves.
Yeah, that I blame completely on Hunter. The fact that the new talent is struggling. They didn't set Ricky up for a good showcase. Whatever they're doing with Sol Ruka, they're not moving storylines. That's all on Triple H and his creative team. I don't think that has anything to do with TKO Endeavor. No. That is 100% Triple H and the creative behind the scenes. They're not using this new talent that they've got. Ethan Page, killing it, but he's simping to Rusev. Like, I don't want to see him be stuck in a program with Rusev and all this.
It's for now because Evans. He had in AEW, he had a lot of back and forth with Rusev. So they're trying to bring that over to here, because if you go back to videotapes, there were some good matches in AEW. But
yes, they did. But the fact is the whole Gingerbread Man thing was very Vince McMahon-esque, and it's something that Triple H would have never done in old school NXT Black and Gold. Never. He never did this gimmicky shit. And now all of a sudden it's just filled with this gimmicky shit. And we don't know, of course, what's going on behind the scenes, how much they are really using AI, what the transition is. Have they gone full AI, chat GPT, and then just handing it over to a one overworked writer to try and flesh it all out? Who knows? But right now, creative's just not hitting. And you have the greatest creative minds in the world sitting here on the internet, and you're more worried about fucking copyright striking them and taking their channels down
Exactly.
than just listening to them about the product.
And then using people in promos that you took down, which makes no sense. You know, I've been watching a lot of videos, Freddie Prinze Jr., Kevin Nash. You know, they've been talking about all this stuff that's been going on. You know, you can't say that nothing's going on when everyone is talking about what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they keep going like I feel bad for the new talent because, and I actually feel bad for the veterans because you're getting people laid off like LA Knight and Bailey and and Viral Vicaria and all these and you're spotlighting the new talent and it's all good. You're doing that to build a new talent, but you're laying people off that actually that have been here that put the asses in seats.
Yeah,
Hey Sticks, who's Viral Valkyria?
Lyra. I'm sorry.
Lyra.
I'm sorry, dude. Man, come on, man.
Vera.
I'm tired, man. Listen. I gotta put a board. I'm gonna have to put a board up with all names. It took me a long time for Javon Evans. You keep saying Devon Evans. Devon. It's one of those things. Hey, it happens.
She's been here a year, Dom, or a year plus, Dom. It's trying to at least know her name.
There's some of the last name, Vicaria. There, I was going to say Vicaria. But
you might as well just call her Bird Lady or Harpy Lady.
Come on, man. You're harsh on me, man. No, but all kidding aside, it's sad because, like I said, you have all this talent that's being laid off, like LA Knight. Because you don't have a story, you can't put him in. Frig it, man. If you can't have him in the storyline, put him in the storyline with the freaking goddamn Intercontinental Championship. Put him in that storyline.
Yeah, but you don't have a story for Cardona, but you can keep putting him up to job for
exactly.
Guys. And that's what the hell? Well, why bring him in if he's just going to be jobbing and losing all the time?
Exactly.
Him and LA Knight. You can put anybody on your roster to do that.
I swear, him and LA Knight should become a tag team, Knight Rider. But people keep, they won't do that. They don't think about shit like that.
Copyright infringement time.
Yeah, copyright infringement. But no, you're right.
You don't get Hasselhoff after you.
Look, like I said, if people can come up with storylines off the bat, how hard is it to have these people who are getting paid big money now? Like they used to get paid big money. Now you got AI slop that is making stories. Like, you know what? This week I'm gonna put together my own AI stories. I'm gonna go on AI and I'm gonna put two wrestlers together and I want to make a storyline and see how it comes out.
Dom, you can't even work your email half the time. I don't think you're doing any of that.
Hey, listen. Shh.
I'm not gonna say that's true or false.
You can barely log into your Netflix account. I don't think you're doing anything like that.
You're right. My wife helps me out with everything, but no. It's just it's sad because it's just hey, look, the one bright spot,
got a handler.
The one bright spot is that you've seen ticket prices going down. There's a lot of cheaper options now for ticket prices. SmackDown has some cheap prices. Raw had some cheap prices. So
well, they should. Like Kevin Nash said on his show, you cut your workforce by 50%. You ask them to take a 50% pay cut. That means you're making a savings, so that therefore tickets should be 50% cheaper. Like, they just made a deal here with the Arizona Sports Authority to bring shows, much like they did with Indianapolis, to bring shows to Arizona. But are we getting another WrestleMania? No, we're getting a fucking Royal Rumble, which we just had a few years ago. We're getting a Saturday night main event and maybe I think it was a SummerSlam, something like that. But we're not even getting a Mania. So it's not. I'm sure it's exciting for people around businesses around here, but as a wrestling fan, I'm like, dude, like you're giving us nothing here. You're a nothing burger, and they're gonna shit's already too expensive. Phoenix is one of the most expensive places in the country to live right now, and you're gonna try to bring people here to jack up ticket prices even higher. Like I don't know, man. But yeah, that's just a broken record talking about the ticket stuff because we're not gonna get anywhere, with that. They don't care. They're hunting billions and they don't give a shit. But all right, let's move into our off the top rope. This is our segment where we have 5 topics, 2 minutes per topic, and we have a timer and we try to stick to that as much as possible. It doesn't always happen, but we still try. So we're going to start off tonight with another wave of NXT call-ups are supposedly in the pipeline for later on this summer, as WWE is planning to bring more NXT talent up to the main roster before summer ends, though discussions are still in their early stages and nothing has been locked in yet. But Body Slam is reporting that only names currently being considered internally from the NXT women's division, with no specific names, brand destinations, or exact times confirmed at this point. Boys, 2 minutes on the clock. Who's left in NXT for them to bring to the main roster?
Nobody.
Well, Jada Parker. Well, now Jada Parker's gonna be fighting. Freaking what's her name? She just interrupted. What the hell's I'm freaking blanking on names. I'm tired. Freaking what's her face? She was fighting Maxine Dupree. In the dungeon. What's her name? Fucking.
Is he Dame?
No.
Natty.
Natty, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Natty. Oh yeah, that whole little.
So apparently, Natty's going to be feuding with Jada Parker. Apparently, she was on a podcast, and Jada Parker called in and had some work. Like nobody. Who else? You're not going to bring. You have a lot of new talent to say that really. The female, we're going to bring up.
You're already bringing up Blake Monroe. What are you going to bring up? Izzy Rain? I know they're high on Izzy Rain or Lizzie Rain. Look,
Lizzie Rain
pull a Dom. They're going to pull Lizzie Rain up. Are they going to bring in Tatum Paxley too?
No.
Izzy Dame's probably going to be called up. Who else? What's Carmelo Hayes' fiance's name?
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're great podcasters. I can't think of names.
Either way, none of those people that in my opinion, that are down there now are ready to come up to the main roster, except for like maybe the 1 or 2. And even they need another 6 months.
Kalani Jordan, right? Is that who it is?
Kalani Jordan. Yeah, I forget that he's a fiance.
So, what are we doing? Who's left there to call up?
Nobody.
Well, nobody.
Cherry picked.
Nobody.
Men wise, Tony D'Angelo is winning the belt. It has the belt, but he ain't gonna lose the belt soon. There's a lot of people that are going for the belt. I think Tony D'Angelo comes up really quick if he loses the belt. I think it's like a one.
Tony's probably the only one that's probably ready if he wants to go up. Maybe he doesn't want to go.
Dark State is still their feet are still wet.
Dark State, they suck. Get out of here. We gotta bring them up to do their shit up on the main roster. You might as well have kept Wyatt 6.
Might as well have kept the Vision or the Shield.
Stephanie McHugh's boyfriend.
Miles Bourne.
But
they're saying it's strictly going to mostly likely be women's talent. So that's what I'm saying is like who's left there from the women's side to bring up other than, Jada Parker, Tatum Paxley.
And we want Nikita Lyons. She just went back.
Nikita.
Yeah, she's funny. Yeah. I wanted to talk about that earlier about she's been like hysterical on freaking NXT, and then freaking she's on the Relevant brand, and she's back and forth. So it's like
she's on the 3rd season of LFG.
Yeah, she's on that, and it says like a bad reality show, which is kind of funny. It is because she's acting the way she's acting. But is she gonna come up, or
I don't think she's ready, dude. The way they're using her, that tells me she's not ready to come up because she was all prime focused on NXT. Then she got hurt, then she came back, and now they keep moving her around. They're telling her that she's too provocative. She dresses too provocative for TV. So I don't see them bringing her up
That's their wardrobe department. What are you talking
anytime
about?
soon.
They said that about Scarlett too. Is that they want her cover up? You know, but meanwhile, Tiffany Stratton can walk around with her bikini top and this and that, and you know, all these. It's like
I think with the amount of wardrobe malfunctions we've gotten lately, you're gonna start seeing them
that
crack
sucks,
down
man.
on gear.
I want more. I'm all for wardrobe malfunctions, man. Come on, man. On the women's division, you know, just I don't know.
That's to me that's poor. That's poor handling of your talent. If your wardrobe department is what's dressing them up or getting them, you know, I'm sure they have a little bit of a say of what they wear. But if your wardrobe department and the people who sign off on their outfits,
hey, but you know what? It
are
does
signing off. You don't have any room to really argue about it.
Restraints on the outfits. If they're going to wear out certain outfits, there's got to be certain restraints on the outfits because of all the action they do. You know, move around, all the moving parts, which, like when you go to Saudi, they wear that one-piece leather suit. You know, is that safe enough? But it's just
well, that's overkill. I mean,
but really, there's nobody else in the in NXT that is ready to come up.
Yeah, they already cherry picked NXT to hell. So, you're right. There's not. I don't see Miles Bourne fitting in on the main roster because what are you gonna? You're gonna put him on Raw and have a version of Randy Orton. You're gonna have Randy Orton light on Raw and then OG Randy Orton on SmackDown.
The 2B Raw, the 2B Randy Orton. You know, the tag team, the Ortons.
Yeah, the Team Randy Orton.
Team Orton.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, NXT needs another year to really build up these characters. These and like
the thing everyone has to remember, and we know it, you know, and everybody who's a fan knows it. NXT, LFG, and the other one there, they're developmental. So these people are supposed to, you know, it's like you work your way up the ladder, get to the main roster. I don't know why people are surprised when they go from NXT to the main roster, you know, or vice versa, because sometimes you don't work out on the main roster. You should be going back down to developmental. Hey, you're not working out. We got to put you back down. I don't think
it's that. I think it's the fact of the way it happened because there was nobody in the wings to replace him. They didn't start building anybody up to replace him because I think, honestly, Blake Monroe was being billed to be the replacement for like a Sol Ruka or the replacement for Julia or Stephanie was supposed to be Jordan Grace, and then they just automatically up and called them up. So they didn't have talent prepared. Same thing with Fatal Influence. For Fatal Influence, we heard JC Jane's name being thrown around, but not the other two.
Yes, we did.
Called them up as a faction. Yep. So you automatically wipe 3 women off your roster right then and there.
Yeah.
So,
and I was just going to say,
some of the wings. It's the same with the men because look what they're trying to do with this Mason Rook. Like they're trying to make you believe that this big fucking superweight looking motherfucker is like the next big thing in wrestling. So much that they're like jamming him down your throat. Nobody is behind this dude. Like the crowd, they were starting to chant, he's big, he's bad, he's a body slam your dad, but they weren't like erupting for him. They weren't fully behind him. Like, and he's sitting there cutting a promo and you're looking at him, you're like, okay, Chaz Bono, what are you doing here? You know, like I don't, you haven't given me a reason to care about this guy. You haven't given me a reason to care about any of your new additions. Why do I care about Evil? Because of what he did in New Japan? Well, that's erased. What's he going to do in WWE?
Well, you can't expect your fan base to be watching everything. They're not going to, not everybody knows what he does in New Japan or NXT Europe or wherever the hell else he's been. You know, a guy shows up after having a a couple kegs at Hooters and do a moonsault onto your guy, and now you think everyone's going to know who he is. I don't even know why the fans were cheering. Where did they learn how to do that? You have to go on the internet.
John Cena's post on Instagram.
Oh, John Cena's post on Instagram
about him.
Well, that's
because John Cena posted
that says a lot about,
because he made the comment, even the best, the greatest of all time, posted about me. I'm big, I'm bad, I'll body slam your dad. Yeah, okay, whatever.
That's not promotion. That's just.
I called the chat.
That is.
Oh, no. Well, listen. Right now, NXT shouldn't even move anybody. Right now, if you want to move a couple of people, like 6 months from now, I would think about that. Yes. After SummerSlam, going into Survivor, going into the fall, you want to do that. But right now, leave it the way, leave it the way it is. Let them build them stars. Let them see where the new wave goes, and if you really like if one of them really stands out, and you want to bring them up to the main roster off the bat, go right ahead. And then the ones that have been there for a while, you can decide on what you want to do with them down the road. Just like I said, right now,
Lola Vice, that's the other one I'm thinking of. She's probably the only one that's ready to be called up.
Yeah,
Lola, yeah. And they're using her in AAA as well, so they've kind of.
She's been going back and forth too. That's another one that's been used heavily in AAA to promote it with Mr. Iguana and stuff like that. So kind of, if she comes up, I'm thinking, Damian Priest, his girlfriend, have a team up with him, All
right. I guess my last statement for this is, we've had enough call-ups in the last 4 months from pre-WrestleMania to post-WrestleMania. Give it a rest. Let people cook down there. Get them, let them do what they're going to do, and then come maybe SummerSlam Survivor Series.
Because
then make some call-ups. Then make some call-ups.
They called up for what? To sit in the back and not do anything for a while, because obviously creative is not brilliant enough to really have all these new talent come up and really have great stories.
They have to have learned. They have to have learned from Carmelo Hayes coming up. I mean, you did what you did. See what you did. Learn from it, because you did him real dirty calling him up and what they did. So
have your creative get its head out of its ass before and do something with the team and talent you have now before you go bringing up new talent.
Yes. Yep.
Listen, to be really honest, like Trick Williams right now, Trick Williams should have a feud. Carmelo Hayes, Dragunov, friggin' who else? Who else is not being shown? Have those players come in, like you see what's going on with the Intercontinental Championship. You get all the players in now. SmackDown, the people that for the U.S. title, have them in a storyline fighting for that with Trick Williams. Get away from the Sami Zayn thing. Sami Zayn right now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Fighting over for that. Just move on to another story.
Mm-hmm. All right. Speaking of moving on, we're going to move on to MJF versus Darby Allin is official for AEW Double or Nothing with a head-shaving stipulation attached. We were talking about who's more professional wrestling right now, AEW or WWE? And my question is are we going too far in AEW with these stipulation matches? This is the second hair on the line match in the last 6 months. You had Wheeler Yuta having his head shaved, and for all intents and purposes, JDF or MJF supposedly just went to Turkey and got hair plugs. So do you really think, I mean, in a match like this where MJF's hair is one of his signature things and he just got hair plugs, that shit's expensive, are we really going to be led to believe that MJF is going to lose to Darby Allin? I think that's pretty much is AEW showing their hand and showing that MJF is going to beat Darby Allin before this match even happens. What do you guys think of the stipulation, and what do you guys think of kind of the state of AEW right now?
I think the stipulation is stupid. And it hasn't been a good stipulation since, and even then we knew who was winning, right? When McMahon and Trump, the hair for hair match with Stone Cold and who was Mr. McMahon's wrestler? Who did he pick? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But
Wasn't it?
But that was
I wanted to say it was Kurt Angle, but maybe it wasn't.
Angle. Oh, at any rate, we knew who was winning because we knew Trump wasn't going to get his hair shaved off. So what good does that do? What good does this do? If you know he's already gotten off and I don't know why you're going to Turkey for hair plugs. I don't get that.
That's the leading.
That's the hair plug. That's the hair plug capital.
Leading, that's where I'm going for mine. Okay, that's where I'm going for mine.
Well, you need a lot of money. You're well, just these kind of matches. I mean, like, I'd rather have them do like a strap match or.
So it was Bobby Lashley versus Umaga, and Stone Cold Steve Austin was the special guest referee. For that
he was a referee. Okay.
Bobby Lashley, he has no hair.
Yeah, so Bobby Lashley was
Trump's pick. Bobby Lashley was the wrestler for Mr. McMahon.
Yeah.
Who did end up having his head shaved. Spoilers.
It's the other way around. Bobby Lashley was the representative for Trump, and Umaga was the representative for McMahon. And Trump and Bobby Lashley shaved McMahon's head.
Yeah. So, yeah. If you're gonna make these gimmick matches, hair for hair, who cares? Mask for mask, that's a fine one.
This is a hair versus title match. So the only person at risk of losing their hair in this is MJF.
Look, I'll be honest with you. You know, it may be gimmicky, maybe this and that, but this is what's missing from WWE. We don't have the gimmick matches as much. We don't have anything strap matches. We don't
a gingerbread man.
Yeah, I mean, just talk about
the Slim Jim street fight where you have to have somebody go through a table. You have to have somebody go through a table just so you can get a sponsorship paid.
I know, but I'm just saying, but stuff like this. Look, to give the belt to Darby Allin, take it back off the bat. You know,
Derby.
Kentucky Derby Allin.
Come on, man. The Darby Allin. I'm sorry. Yeah, you love to have fun with this. Yeah, I'm gonna keep messing up names. I'm thinking. I
think he's gonna do it on purpose now.
No, I actually think MJF is gonna lose. I think he's gonna get his head shaved. I think.
Wow.
I think Darby Allin keeps the belt because you're not gonna give it to him for a short time. You got to make new stars. You know, MJF had this belt for so damn long, multiple times.
Well, I mean. But Darby Allin has been doing this open challenge thing where he's fighting every week on Dynamite, defending that title. So at some point, the Roosters are going to come home to roost, or the Crows are going to come home to roost, or whatever the fuck that saying is. Yeah. He's going to lose eventually, and I think that's what they're setting up. Is he's having all these he just fought Pac, last week in a fucking golf course.
I know.
So it's. I think that's what they're building towards. Is they're going to have Darby. It's going to come to bite him in his ass that he did all these championship matches where he's beaten and busted and broken down, and MJF's going to take advantage of that and just take that title back. I don't think MJF is losing his hair, man.
I don't think MJF.
Especially how funny would it be if he loses his hair? How funny would it be?
I mean, it would be funny. So much so at the start of Dynamite last night, they had him walking in and they did like the WWE walk in from Gorilla, and he was getting heckled by a bunch of bald people.
Yeah, I know, but hey, I'm one of them. And remember, you can take a picture to HR for calling you bald. So shut up. Remember that. I would. I don't see him winning. I don't see. I could be wrong, but the fact is that it's becoming stale. I know he's the best you have on AEW, but
he's the best.
You're bringing all that talent in. You have all these new people that are coming in. And when they get these signees that are coming in after released by WWE, there's going to be a lot more talent on the show. So, you
90 days, my man, 90 days.
I know. But Darby Allin, I think, keeps the belt a little bit longer. If he does lose, he's going to lose it to somebody else. you got the Hurt was the Hurt Syndicate. You still got that still going. Bobby Lashley hurt. He's better. I haven't seen Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, he has not been on TV for
for a while. But like I said, you got a lot of new talent that's coming in, and we'll see. But it would be funny to see MJF with his hair shaved.
Yeah, I think it's just telegraphs that Darby Allin's losing this match, and they're just
I would agree.
Basically giving it to you. But all right, next up, LA Knight. Is LA Knight done with WWE? We talked about LA Knight a little bit in our rant segment and to kick off the show, but some interesting comments were made by one Jonathan Coachman, aka Coach. We all remember Coach from the 90s. He was the one who DX spray painted his ass cheeks. So Coach has a show over on his channel called the Coach and Bro Show that he does with Vince Russo. And he was talking about LA Knight, and he said, guys, this is my hot take. I think LA Knight is done in the WWE. He wasn't there last Monday. He hasn't been utilized in any of this stuff. I think that for whatever reason, whether he's just done dealing with Triple H and getting yelled at, or he's making too much money and they came to him and said, hey, we want you to take that pay cut, because the word on the street is it was a lot of talent, not just the New Day. And I think that's what the New Day did. They said, we're sitting around. Yes, you want to earn a lot of money, and this is important. But sometimes the talent that's been there, done that, they're like, I can give away another year or two. I'm getting older, and I can't wrestle every week. I need to do this now. LA Knight is 43. You can't wrestle every single week when you're 43. Boys, thoughts on LA Knight? Is LA Knight suspended? Is he pretend? I still think he's the one that they've been talking about, that they asked to take a pay cut, and he walked and went home to think about it, or he's sitting at home until they have something for him. But what do we think is going on with LA Knight? Do we actually think LA Knight is officially done with WWE?
Well, we talked about this. We've been talking about this since the layoffs and everything came about. And, the big talent, like when I mentioned that there was a big talent that might be a part of the releases or the pay cut type of thing. And LA Knight's name kept coming up. And then they were talking about that LA Knight and Bayley are laid off for the time being because no story. And then you had the story that him and Gunther were going to have a short-term match, and then you scrap that in a heartbeat. And that tells you something. It could be a number of things too. He's been having some nagging injuries. The little nag, he could maybe sit home to rest a little bit, to heal up a little bit, take time off. But it is disturbing. Last week he wasn't on the show either. The last 2 weeks he wasn't on. Nope. So
not even mentioned.
But they have the fucking Slim Jim commercials on with him on it. Him and friggin' Jey Uso.
I mean, they're still running the general commercial with Rhea Ripley and the chick they released 2 weeks ago.
Yep. So they're doing that. So basically, it's funny tactic that what they're doing. It's like the content creators that they got off TV and then they use them as in their promotional things. So I think LA Knight,
well, they're already paid for that.
Definitely is the one we talked about. Like I said, we talked about this. Mm-hmm. Is the big one that might be gone. And it's I don't want him gone. I think he was good, but 43 years old, they want younger talent. Yeah, if you're not Seth Rollins, if you're not Roman Reigns, if you're not CM Punk, definitely probably are just about done.
Yeah, I don't think he's gone. I do think though that they gave him an option, kind of like Matt kind of said. He's 43, can't do it every week. Give him some time off. Right. Give him like an off-air contract. Hey, we're gonna pay you this much. Yeah. You're not gonna be on TV. When you come back, we'll give you a different contract that says you're on TV, and you'll get that different pay. You get back to the pay for on TV rate. And I think LA Knight is still in. I think he's over in WWE, and I don't think they really want to get rid of him per se because he is a fan favorite. But who knows? I mean, Kairi Sane was a fan favorite apparently, and then you got rid of her.
They just
New
got
Day was definitely a fan favorite, and they definitely got rid of them. So, or let them go, as it were. Let them walk.
Seem to have no desire to push LA Knight, no matter how much the fans are vocal about it. They don't have any plans to push LA Knight anywhere outside of the mid card.
I think they keep flip flopping with what their idea is and what they want to do. They want to put him in a match with Gunther,
or he goes and does it, and then as he's trying to wrestle for that opportunity, he fucking botches and they pull him. If you're gonna punish him for botching, you need to punish Braun Breaker for botching too, because Braun Breaker is just as guilty as LA Knight is.
He drops himself on his head every week.
So I mean, honestly, so is Sol Ruka, because she kind of. I mean, EO, good for you. I will go on record to say I don't think that EO moving out of the way from the Soul Snatcher was supposed to happen. I think Sol Ruka missed and EO was out of place, and it made it look like she sidestepped the Soul Snatcher because they were all kind of shocked and take it back a little bit when she totally missed that Soul Snatcher.
Guess what? Everybody could do that then. You want to beat Sol Ruka, just do that. Everybody could beat her doing that. But I think there's another thing with LA Knight. Ethan Page is a LA Knight type of character that's good in the mic, and so you out with the old, you're in with the new, And it's sad. It's sad when you start saying 43-year-old is old. Like, I'm 55, man. That's old. And
but I mean, in the realm of sports and professional wrestling, it is because you get slower, you lose a step. It's not
exactly. And the more friggin' drops, the more your body doesn't respond quick enough. But he could be, like I said, taking time to rest, come back, have something planned, like a short story that. If he wants to win, put him in the US title card, man. Have him fight Trick and do something like that. Give him because they're not going to push him for championship anymore. It's sad, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see him in a program against Ethan Page, or even as a faction or a team of some sort. Do something with LA Knight. Give this man something to do. He's a gem. He is a worker. He's there, but sometimes you just got to get out of your own way, and he's got to figure out a way to cure the yips or whatever botches he's got going on down the line.
You're right.
Back to talking about AEW. We got AEW tonight. AEW is apparently showing interest in Mick Foley. A new report has shed light on the possibility of Mick Foley working with All Elite Wrestling. According to the report from John Elba of Sports Illustrated's The Takedown, AEW has shown real interest in collaborating with Mick Foley at some point this year. However, it remains unclear what role the WWE Hall of Famer could potentially have with the company. The report noted that there is no confirmation on whether AEW would pursue signing the 60-year-old legend or simply bring him in for a one-off appearance. So, boys, I ask you, what do you see Mick Foley's role with AEW being in? Do you think it's potentially maybe AEW is finally going to insert a GM into Dynamite?
Maybe.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know if they'd run him as the GM. Maybe he's going to take over on. I don't know if he could commentary. Because I know, I think Big Show, or the Big Show, one of their commentaries guys were leaving. Was it, or has left, and they might use him there. I mean, he might be good on the commentary side.
I mean, do you see him potentially bringing him in for the creative side? Because Foley still has a good mind for the business. So could they be bringing him in on a creative standpoint? Could he be coming in for a hardcore standpoint to work with Darby Allin, kind of like they did with Sting? I'm more so leaning towards potentially GM role.
Yeah, I see that more likely. your GM role, and at the same time, it could be part of creative too.
But it could also just be that giant fuck you to WWE, since Mick Foley's been very
Vocal about,
outspoken about political feelings towards WWE and TKO.
Yeah, he's also been doing kind of a independent. He's been running the independent circuit, doing matches here and there. Foley has. He was in OVW. Was it OVW that he was in for a little bit? And then now he just put on his Instagram that he had like 5 or 6 more dates for these indie promotions that he's doing coming up.
Is he actually wrestling, or is he just showing up as like
he's actually wrestling?
Wrestling, really?
Yeah.
I thought he stopped.
Yeah, I thought he
stopped too. It's like one-off shows. Like, but OVW, he did it for like 3 or 4 weeks. He was in a storyline for a few weeks.
You know, him as a GM for AEW would be a good look. Be a good look, and part of creative too as well too.
Mm-hmm.
Build stories up, this and that. And look, if you really want to stick it to WWE, you start inserting certain aspects of the old WWE and using their knowledge towards building your brand up.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it could be commentated too. You know, who knows? You know, have the commentary, but you're right, man. I think more of a GM role would be his style. You don't have to wrestle. You might have to take a hit once in a while here and there, but but your GM, you do some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or, and you're right. Or maybe be a mentor to a Darby Allin. Like Sting was. You're right.
I mean, I can definitely see him have to go to help Darby Allin take that more hardcore edge, or that next like hardcore step, and really be that mentor or manager for Darby Allin down the line. Not that Darby needs it, but yeah, I just don't know what. I don't know. I necessarily want to see a beaten, broken down 60-year-old Mick Foley wrestle a program in AEW.
Him and Ric Flair are gonna have a wrestling match one last time. No, but
no. If he did, it would be like one. It's not going to be there every week.
It would definitely be a last time. So that's a good stick it to you to the WWE.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I think either way, adding Mick Foley to your system is probably a good thing. He's been there. He's done that.
Raised the bar.
He can probably teach. He can teach anybody something.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best way to do it. Bring him in, GM role, potentially creative, help him. You can help AEW's creative, because AEW is in an opportunity where they could definitely cut into some of the WWE stakeholder if they can come in here and actually put together cohesive stories with good professional wrestling with the people they have. But they don't even want to use their own talent, as they're keeping Swerve Strickland off TV. So who knows what AEW is going to do moving down the line. And our last bit of news here for Off the Mat, Off the Top Rope, 2 minutes on the clock. Backstage update on the John Cena Classic, when and where it will air. And the recently announced John Cena Classic is still very much in the planning stages, according to new reports. As revealed by John Cena at WWE Backlash, the tournament is expected to feature WWE main roster stars competing against NXT talent. The winner will be decided through fan voting and crowd crowd support. The inaugural John Cena Classic champion will be crowned. However, WrestleVotes is reportedly saying that several major details surrounding the event remain undecided. Sources reportedly indicate that WWE has not yet finalized a date or venue for the tournament. One source noted that early December currently appears to be the most logical time frame based on the WWE schedule. The timing would also coincide with the 1-year anniversary of John Cena's retirement appearance at Saturday Night's Main Event, which similarly featured crossover matches between the main roster and NXT competitors. The report also stated that Netflix shows interest in hosting the event on its platform almost immediately after the concept was announced. Despite that interest, no agreement has been reportedly been finalized as of yet. At this stage, the report emphasizes that very little regarding John Cena's Classic has officially been locked in. Boys, with what we know about the John Cena Classic, Why do you think WWE took the time to announce it now? And do you think it was just announced in its infancy phases to get ticket sales for Backlash?
I also think they announced it to stick it to AEW. They wanted to do that any which way they could do that. John Cena is still popular with the crowd, so you have a John Cena Classic, it might draw some interest. But I still don't get the whole scenario of this whole thing. You, the fan, determine the winner. But if wrestlers lose, they're still part of it and win too. It doesn't make any sense on how this is transpiring. You know, you want to have old talent versus new talent, and you want to try to do that. That's great. But what I was saying last week when they introduced this, it would be great to interact AAA, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, and possibly a TNA talent. You know, if that was the case. But I'm not 100% high on this yet to really see how it's going to work. Right. But the wording and the verbiage on how he talked about it doesn't make any sense.
No, because you're leaving it up to fans. WWE is not going to leave anything up to fans. Fans aren't voting on shit because the way that, or at least they're going to cook the fan vote, because the way it's explained is that, you know, you're just going to have guys going out there and do whatever the fuck they want. They're going to go in business for themselves because you can lose and still get voted in. You don't have to look good in matches. You don't have to perform. You don't have to win. Wins and losses don't matter. And they confirm that with the announcement of this tournament and how it's going to work. So the fans are like, they learned their lesson from Cyber Sunday and Taboo Tuesday. They're not doing shit with fan voting. You could send in your votes, but it's going to go whatever way WWE wants.
I want Danhausen to win. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
Rusev's winning. What? No.
And I think the thing that people need to understand and keep in mind is that, yes, WWE, when we talked about it at the top of the show, yes, WWE and TKO own AAA, but they are still a separate brand. They do not have a TV deal. WWE barely references what happens there on TV. They do sometimes. That's why it took this long for Dominic Mysterio to defend the AAA Mega Championship on WWE TV. That's why they're not really talking about. They barely reference the mask versus mask match that's happening in AAA on WWE TV. AAA is not. They're not considered a WWE main roster brand. They are a separate entity. You just are owned by WWE, TKO. Some of these superstars go back and forth, but what happens in AAA does not spill over. It's very much like NXT. What happens in NXT usually doesn't spill up to the main roster. What happens in AAA is not going to spill over into WWE. That's why you see Almost over there, but you don't see him on main roster television. It's considered a separate entity. It's not a brand like NXT is. It's considered a completely separate entity. That's like the same way with all their considered. The best way to look at it is considered it a WWE ID property. They're a developmental wrestling program that WWE can scout, and that's what their AAA is. It's a WWE run program, but it's not considered part of the main roster. It's not considered part of WWE. They treat it and look at it as a separate entity. That being said, this fucking John Cena thing is going to blow up in their face. It is a giant clusterfuck. And to have John Cena himself come out there and announce it, sit here and be like, yeah, this is my brainchild, especially when they had people, you know, betting on what this was going to be. And he should have just come out and announced the club WWE and whatever the fuck that's going to be and called it a day. But no, he has to just completely give us this whole convoluted thing when, you know, it's like they completely forget that King of the Ring is an actual option. You know, like we said before, the gimmick matches. How long has it been since we've seen a lumberjack match in WWE? When was the last time we saw a strap match in WWE? When was the last time, you know, we really don't ever use cages anymore or Hell in a Cell? You get Hell in a Cell once a year, usually, you know, or you get the War Games matches once a year. Where's the, you know, lumberjack matches, all the casual battle royales and, you know, gimmick matches, things like that. That WWE needs to get a little bit back of that. Not necessarily to the extent of AEW, but, you know, give us a little something extra, spice things up so we don't have the Monday Night Raw constantly ending with the Samoans and one of them being put through a table. The John Cena Classic, on the other hand, it's a great way to build stars and get eyes on the future of the business. But at the same time, if you really sit here and think that your vote is going to matter and WWE is going to let you vote on shit, well, I have a nice piece of property on the moon to sell you, because that ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
We learned the lesson the hard way. Sitting through Cyber Sunday and Taboo Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah. I totally agree. This is probably going to blow up in their face. It's too much of a Dancing with the Stars type of, call in, and nobody cares. If they keep it simple, if they keep it simple, it might work. If they try and
the way it's complicated,
too many working pieces, it's gonna go all over the place.
It's complicated of what they're talking about, how this is gonna work. Listen.
Well, the rules are complicated, but if you keep the scenario simple, you'll probably work it out better.
I'm gonna be honest with you. What's gonna happen? A talent from NXT, one of the youngers are gonna win, and that's the future right there. They're already putting it up there that one of the future talents will win this thing, and put that person over to make that person to move forward as the next big thing. That's what this is for, to showcase a young talent to push them over, like the Andre the Giant Memorial. But
are they gonna? My question would be: are they going to use some of the call-ups as part of their young talent, or are they main roster now? So they're going to only use people from NXT, like they did last time. We only use people from NXT versus the main roster.
NXT and the main. AAA is not going to be part of this. No TNA people. It's just NXT versus main roster showcase.
So that means the main roster showcase of the NXT people who came up now are main roster. So who are you going to really fight? You're going to fight Carver down there. You're going to fight Jason Bourne. You're going to fight freaking goddamn.
Here you go. Randy Orton versus Jason Bourne. There you go.
Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne. Did I say Jason Bourne?
Who's Jason Bourne?
Jason Bourne.
What the fuck are we doing here, guys? It's no wonder people tune out of us, because we're over here mispronouncing fucking names.
Miles Bourne.
Just giving everybody a nickname. Miles Bourne is now Jason Bourne. Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
Mason Rook. I see it as a way to get Mason Rook versus Obafemi. That their new big rookie. You get Evil versus Shinsuke Nakamura somehow.
Yeah.
Or, it just, I don't know.
Yeah. Full style.
There's no interest in, I'm not going to completely poo-poo on it right now, but at the stage we're in here, yes, it's in its infancy, but it's a clusterfuck. It's a clusterfuck. John Cena knows it's a clusterfuck, and they're just steered into that skid, man. They're like, hey, we know this is a shit show. We're not denying it or hiding it, but we're going to push this out till the back half of the year, and then can give us time to...
1,000 words. The picture says 1,000 words. He's like, what the fuck did I just say? What the fuck did I just mention?
You're going to give it to the back half of the year to figure out a way out of this shit show,
He's like, the hell? I should have...
I will poo-poo the concept, but if the matches are good, I'll be all right with it. That's the only saving grace they're going to have, is if the matches end up being good.
If. It's a big word.
If.
Well, right. Sol Ruka did good things in hers on, that Saturday Night Main Event where she became the talk of the town, the belle of the ball for a little bit. And sadly, it seems like WWE is making Blake Monroe that belle of the ball, because at least she gets vignettes in time to properly get announced before she debuts on SmackDown, unlike Ricky Steam's.
I can't wait to her fight Tiffany Stratton, where you can't recognize.
Yeah, you can't tell who's who. Yeah,
who's
exactly.
Who?
It's going to be like when she... It's going to be just like when she wrestled Toni Storm, and Toni Storm dressed up as her.
Yeah.
So,
oh god.
She was Mariah May. All right, well, that's it for our off the top rope, our fastest 2 minutes on our 5 topics. Now we're going to hand it over to Dirty Dom, and he's going to tell us what the professional world Dirty Dom dirt sheets are cooking on this week. Dirty Dom, drop the news on us, my friend.
Yeah, drop. So the big thing is for this week is that apparently WWE has brought back house shows. They have a certain amount of dates of house shows that they announced, and it's like, really? So you announced house shows now that you came back. So what does that mean? You know, that like the house shows. So apparently these are the house shows. So July 11th in New Mexico. You know, you have Albuquerque, New Mexico. July 12th to 16th, Allentown, Pennsylvania. The 25th of July, Stockton, California. You have Bakersfield, California, July 26th. July 30th, Springfield, Illinois. You have August 6th, Fairfax, Virginia. August 13th, Manchester, New York, New Hampshire. You have Savannah, Georgia, August 29th. And the 30th, you have Charleston, South Carolina. So I guess all the talk about getting rid of house shows finally came back to slap TKO in the face, saying that house shows are very important for wrestlers, so wrestlers can actually getting in feuds with the guys or girls and stuff like that, that you could actually form a bond and know each other when you get into the feud and you pay the pay-per-view. All these botches, all these things that are going on, like Jay Cargill. Jay Cargill can definitely benefit from house shows. You know, another thing too is it's funny how they introduced the house shows back. So they'd be paying certain wrestlers. They released all those wrestlers because there was no house shows. They're just sitting in the back.
Well,
house.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I told you earlier that I had a kind of a theory on this, and I'll interject my theory here real quick.
Go right in.
What if some of these wrestlers that they're not using, or like LA Knight, maybe they're signing them to these house show contracts, so they'll be featured on these house show contracts, to where they work the house shows and then maybe move them back into the main roster and on TV, so that they can, hey, work on this. We'll give you 2 or 3 shows and then you'll come back. Work these house shows. Be that house show heel or whatever the case may be. And then we might be able to work you back in. I can't see them doing that with LA Knight, only because LA Knight's been so big for them. But we've talked about his botching. We've talked about creatively they don't have anything for him. This might give him something to do. Hey, work that house show circuit.
I think the botchers have a lot to do with, you might be practicing for an event, but I think house shows actually help a wrestler and benefits a wrestler very much so when it comes to coordination.
How many times have we said that? We've said that for the longest time.
Because you're doing it constantly. Yeah, there's going to be a couple of botches here and there, but it seems like every week there's a botch, a big botch with everybody. Like they did, like Soul Ruka and Io Sky. Matt said it. It started off slow because they were trying to get to feel each other. But if they had a house show together, there. What happened?
Yeah, they don't
know chemistry there. There's no chemistry there at
the
beginning. You literally watched it real time. You watched them build chemistry together real time, to where as the match progressed and we got to the finish, it got a lot better. They got a lot quicker. Their movements were a lot more fluid. It was very slow going, a lot of setup for things as the match just kicked off. I see this twofold. Yes, it's a way for them to test the waters to see, okay, if we do these house shows, how many injuries do we have leading up to SummerSlam? It's also a way for them to get record profits. Think about it. They don't have to charge. They can book smaller arenas They can don't have to charge as much per ticket because it's not on TV, so they don't have to pay a television crew and all that. You can work out your shit, work out feuds, work out storylines. I think they're taking a little bit of the old days because, you know, you hear all the old heads say, well, it was back in the day at the house shows where we could just try whatever we want because we weren't on TV. We could try different things. We could fail and at least try them out. And I think that's what these house shows are going to do. And they're going to bring them back for just a summer run to test out the waters to see what happens. And if it goes well and we don't see so many injuries and the product gets better, I think we'll start slowly seeing more and more of like these month-long runs added periodically through the year. They won't go back to the same house show schedule they had before, but I wouldn't be surprised if like we get like a month where you get like a 2-week run of house shows announced or something like that. But the ticket prices won't be as much. Fans can actually come out. They'll probably do well in merch sales.
Exactly.
So it's a win-win and probably for TKO. Yeah. And it could be like Stick says, where that's where you'll see like an LA Knight. Maybe they know that they're going to this tour, so they're getting ready for this European run too. So they're going to have LA Knight wait and come back there, or they just, you know, going to develop something on this European run or these run of house shows. It's a great idea. No, absolutely do it.
It is a great idea, and I'm all for it because it actually, like I said, the chemistry and the the chemistry with two wrestlers that never really fought each other, they get the chance to build some chemistry together to make it work. So when they do meet on TV for the when they do their pay-per-view, it's not like slow burn until something. They already know each other's hand and coordination and all that stuff like that to move. The mobility to know what they're fighting, they know each other's move, where it actually helps. Where you don't get the blunders that Soruka did, or missing Io Sky, which you probably are right, because like I said, if all the wrestlers did that to Soruka, she'll never win. So kind of like that scenario, but yeah. So that is the big on the dirt sheets this week, and then the other little thing on the dirt sheets. I was telling you about Gunther. They want Gunther to put the belt on Gunther because apparently what I read and what I heard, they want Roman Reigns to fight Gunther. That's the big thing they want happening. Then they were saying that Cody Rhodes is going to get into a short-term storyline with the Vision. So they're going to push the Vision. So you have Braun Breaker versus like that, and it's so big. That's what they're looking to push.
Why?
With that.
Why the Vision?
I don't know. They're trying to build a vision up. I guess they still have plans. And apparently Bronson Reed had made some more cryptic, figuring on the socials that his return is possibly very soon. So,
well, apparently Stephanie's is too, and they're saying that Stephanie could be back as soon as Raw this Monday.
Yeah, but I actually think that we're going to see Stephanie and Bronson Reed show back up at Clash in Italy.
I think she's going to show up in house shows on the European tour. There's no way they're going to do a show in Chile where she's from, and she's not going to be a part of it.
Exactly. I know, definitely. And they're definitely going to do that. But I think that Bronson Reed shows back up at Clash. That's might they bring him back in the pay-per-view. Okay. But those are the pretty big ones that happened this week. There's a little other small ones, but these are more relevant. These are more bigger ones. Yeah. And next week, I'll dig some more to get some more stuff. But the house shows was a very big drop this week that I seen. So, like I said, it's a win-win, and you're right. Small arenas, it gives a chance for families to go watch some house shows, merch sells, and you make some money off of little house shows like that.
Very smart. Very smart.
The other big thing I'm surprised you didn't talk about on the Dirty Dom Dirt Sheets is that there's rumors swirling that Tekashi 6ix9ine wants to make a move from music to being in WWE.
I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to bring up that douchebag's name anyway. Because that also, like I said, everybody wants to become a part of WWE wrestling now. like I said, Johnny Sins from the porn industry, he wants to become a wrestler. He said, I'm like, so like everybody wants to do something. Yeah. So apparently he reached out to Logan Paul to because he wants to
Logan Paul is Booker. What's going on?
Because he wants Logan Paul to train him.
Yeah. Yo, man.
Maybe. Jesus.
I don't know, man. Like I said,
maybe Logan Paul can train him to take whatever peds or.
Yo, he's fucking push-ups in the morning, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. That's what he does, man.
Yeah, because his name's Saitama. Right?
Yo, dude,
because he's a fucking one punch man.
I do that. I do that. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. That's how come I'm huge. No.
Yeah.
Not dude. He's taking peptides.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the peptides he's probably taking.
He's taking peptides. But that's okay. But that's touch to see. No.
That shit that he's getting.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see him
in Puerto Rico
in WWE. I think
they need to go. They need to swim away from these celebrity inserts.
Wait, you want him to become freaking Little Yachty, another manager for somebody else now and shit? Come on, man.
He can come be 6ix9ine.
You are cursed. No, but yeah, I knew about that, but I didn't want to bring that up when you showed me that. I'm like, yeah.
All right. Do we want to do our 3 count? 3 count is where we go through the shows from the week and we review. We give our best moment, worst moment, and what were they thinking instead of going match by match. Or do we want to do our backlash?
Do the backlash. Let's do the backlash. Backlash
review.
is a pretty long segment. We can do it at the end.
Okay. Then I will hand it over to Sticks, and we'll throw up the backlash result, and we'll find out who has been crowned the IWC Backlash Prediction Champions for Off the Mat, or is Eric still retaining that title this week? Sticks, take it away, my friend.
Well, I will say that Eric would have had to give me picks. So
he did.
Spoiler. When did he? I asked you?
He came in at the end of the show last Thursday, and he gave us his picks.
He did.
Yeah, did he? I don't remember. I don't remember him coming in. I was
he did. He sure did.
God, I had so much. Well, okay, I'll adjust it, but I think he still had one wrong. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker,
Sticks math at its finest, man.
Sticks math.
You gotta tighten it up.
I apologize to Eric. I will
tighten it up.
I know he got one wrong. He probably got one wrong. We all did.
He probably got one. I think he did pretty good too. I know I was freaking bad in this.
He didn't do too horrible. I mean, there's a few matches that weren't callable. Really, it is just so. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker beats Seth Rollins at this one. What do we think of this match, guys? As we watched it live on the Off the Mat channel here.
Great match. I wasn't a big fan of the finish. I feel like the finish hurt the match.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was a good match. It was a clean match. Braun Breaker won fair and square, man. No, there was he had interference with the with freaking Logan Paul and freaking Austin Theory, but he got the win, man. He got the win, and he looked good. We all said that Seth Rollins was going to win, and in a way, I'm glad that it's out of the way. I know that Seth Rollins is still going to feud with the Vision, but this was a long time coming. This should have been WrestleMania. The unfortunate thing, they both got hurt. They're both out. It took a long time, but the match was pretty solid.
All right. Up next.
In which we all botched that match because we thought Seth was going to win it.
Yeah.
Trick Williams defeats Sami Zayn to retain his U.S. championship. I think that was a no-brainer. Sami wasn't coming in and winning this off of him.
Yeah, they plan to have Trick Williams hold his belt for a minute until he's SummerSlam.
So I'll tell you this: Eric picked Braun Breaker to win the Seth match.
Yes.
So he's already one up where the rest of us are missing.
So Cal Stocks reached out to you?
He sent me pics. Yeah.
Oh, he did. Okay. And you mean Dub and Pete didn't send any pics?
They did not.
No, okay.
I double checked the chat and they didn't send. I think they thought they had to have it live for the show,
Oh, okay.
which it's never been a thing, but that's fine. All right, then we get the Danhausen versus the Miz and Kit Wilson. We get that the Steve Urkel box coming out, and lo and behold, we got our Minihausen as his tag team partner, which wasn't what everyone was expecting, but I still think it kind of worked.
It was funny, but what are we doing?
Not what you really kind of want.
Gingerbread men, friggin' mini midgets, and
yeah. Well,
it would have been a lot better on a 7-match PLE, not a 5-match PLE where 2 matches were given away for free. It would have felt a lot more.
And this was part of the paid part.
Yes.
This was the first part of the paper. I would have put this on the free section. This probably would have been my first match. Then you have the Braun Breaker, Seth match, and then you go into the rest of the card. This isn't I wouldn't want to pay for this as part of your three match card for what you're asking people to sign up for. Come on. Again, this is that gimmick match, but given Danhausen's shtick, it works because it's part of his shtick. I mean, and of course we've already talked about Miz being the developer of these, or the jobber for these new guys coming in now. So I don't know. I enjoyed it for the entertainment value, but as far as the wrestling value, it didn't deserve to be on the main card. It should have been on the. It should have been on they used to have matches on the pre-show. This would have been a pre-show match.
Yeah.
But you're right. They should have had at least 2 more.
Look at Danhausen.
And they should have had 2 more matches.
It makes me laugh.
Yeah. Oh, that's what he's kind of there for, right? I mean, that's your entertainment side of your roster. You got the Miz, you got Danhausen, you've got R-Truth, you've got a couple of the other, even Kit Wilson, although Kit Wilson kind of goes between that kitschy stuff and the being a solid wrestler, or a premier wrestler. He goes back and forth because of where they're putting him creatively. But he takes it. He does it well. I think Kit Wilson, since not having the tag team, is kind of worked into his own as far as a singles guy and where he's at. I'm kind of worried when his partner comes back, if they keep him separated, or they're going to try and push him back together.
Separated.
Yeah, exactly. So
Eric picked Danhausen to win this bet. Eric picked it. I just went back and listened to it. I'm pretty sure Eric.
Okay, if you're listening to it, that's fine. I'm
pretty sure Eric picked a flawless.
And Stocks picked 3 winners too.
Yeah.
Everybody took EO here. This is no surprise.
Yeah, we knew EO was winning on this one. Iosuke versus Asuka. This one was a really good match. This from these two perspectives. The idea of she doesn't retire at the end of the match, but she kind of sends herself off with the whole face turn at the end, and then what we get from her on social media, right? I mean, it's not the end for her, but she's not exactly continuing.
Well, we got her leaving the show on Raw too. with Kyrie with Io saying goodbye to her. So there's that little caveat from Raw too.
Right. That was that supposed to be video from? Was that supposed to be from Backlash? It wasn't from.
No, it was from Raw Monday night. She was there Monday night. Yeah, she was backstage.
Which, okay, I get it. You want to have an extra segment with her, but you're gonna have her come to Raw just to do a walking away segment.
And that's what they did.
That's what they did. Yep.
Cue the sad Hulk music.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking in my head. Banner thumbing his way down the road at the end of the Yep. Yep. That's a waste of that's a waste of a segment. You could have done that in a video at Backlash and then shown it. Yeah. And hey, this is what happened after Backlash. They met up and they left and went their separate ways.
Because fun fact, she was wearing the same face paint that she wore the day she debuted in WWE. Just the line across her face.
Across her face. Yeah. So, would you guys pretty good with this match? I thought
that match was awesome.
I thought it was awesome too. I thought again it was a little slow, but they were telling a story and trying to tell a story without the biggest piece of that story and Kairi Sane being present. So it was a great match. I think they gave them like 18 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was the best night. It was probably the best match of the night, I think. And I
think you're right. It was the only match that had any kind of build-up story, even though the story kind of walked out the door when they released Kyrie, but it was really the only thing that had built up, as far as I'm concerned, because they were doing it for 6 months, little bit by little bit, and then they just threw it out the window, threw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say. So,
yep.
Leave that bathwater alone.
Yeah. Well,
dog shit. Absolute dog shit. Next.
Yep, this was the dog shit section. Yeah, I agree. This didn't need to be on the PLE. Why have an announcement like this on your PLE unless it's
to sell tickets?
You could have had
John Cena lives in Tampa,
but it's that whole. You could
have had this on Monday Night Raw.
You could have this on Monday Night Raw, but it's that whole shitstorm we're talking about, where you're building things up. This is gonna change wrestling. This is gonna change or flip the script.
A question now.
It did not do any of that.
This didn't turn over really well. The fans are confused. Fucking outside people are confused, and it just really left the bad taste a lot of people's mouths. You think they say they just shovel us under the rug and say forget about it? Not even
the name. The guy whose name is on the championship in the tournament is confused. It's not. It's not a good look when everybody involved in this, including the guy who supposedly created it, is confused by it.
Exactly.
Yeah. No. Yep. Not a fan. Not a fan of how they did it, what they're doing, or how they explained it. Really, not what they're doing, but how they explained it. And then we had Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. Roman Reigns retained over Jacob Fatu.
Damn,
goddamn Jacob Fatu. Bullshit, man. Zilla was supposed to show up. He didn't show up. Fucking goddamn Solo. Sokoa was supposed to show up. Never did. Fucking goddamn Royce Keys.
Nobody showed up. There was no interference whatsoever in any of these matches.
Well, they tried to in the Seth Braun match, but they got pretty well dispatched.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, man, I think Eric and Kyle are tied for the title.
Yeah.
They called a perfect.
Yeah.
They called a perfect PLE.
Yep.
I apologize to Eric. I won't add him.
It's Sticks math. It's bound to happen.
Well,
Sticks, you're rude. You're rude, obnoxious to do that to Eric.
I forgot that he showed up late in the program.
God, saying the guy is so forgettable. Sticks is like, this guy is so forgettable. I can't even remember he showed up.
I'm not saying that at all.
I can't.
I will
believe
say,
you
however,
bothered to donate your time to show up and give your picks.
Hold on. Let me talk here for a second. I will say, however, no, I did not. Yes, I did forget about Eric. No, I do not think Eric is forgettable, but I will tell you this. I would love to have Eric show up week after week and be on the program.
I'm going to tell him that, look, Stick said
Don't-
you're so forgettable.
Damn,
That's not what I
he
said at all.
couldn't
That is
even
not
be
what I said at all.
bothered.
that's a good dude, man.
He couldn't even be
That is-
bothered to take
not-
your picks.
Because I only went
write
to
them
our
down.
portion and I had forgotten. Okay, listen. If you
Don't
want to
you
throw me
remember-
under the bus
you
like that, you go ahead.
You
throw me
remember
under
your
the bus.
boy figured Kyle Starks.
Yeah, you remember
him?
Kyle Starks.
Yeah, you remember
because-
him? He didn't show up at all.
Yeah.
He sent the picks
Yeah.
personally to you.
Hey.
What's he offering you? Some free autographs at a con or something there, Sticks? Is that what's going on?
No,
You getting
I do not.
getting some
I'm not one to
kickback
take
from-
bribes. I am not one to take bribes.
getting some kickback from old Kyle Starks here, huh?
Yeah.
I will personally. No, I got to
You're
figure
like,
out.
listen, Kyle, we will give you a weekly segment so you can come on our show and shill whatever you need to shill, even if it's not professional wrestling related. You can come on here and shill. No
I
matter
think he'd be
what.
all right with that. Somehow, I think he'd be all right with that.
I know, that's why
like
he
he said, he did.
Yo, look at how he made this belt. He put Kyle Starks drawing. He did nice. And poor Matt.
Yeah, I've been up in the as we progress. My championships get better looking and better looking.
Yo, poor Eric left in the mat.
Yeah, right. Poor Eric,
Come
so
on, man.
forgettable.
Poor Eric, man. Come on, man.
So forgettable and Sticks.
Damn, Sticks. That's
All right.
ruthless,
All right,
man.
that's
That's
be that
ruthless.
way. That's fine.
That be that
All
way. That be that way.
Be that way. Right, that's fine. Be that way. I can take it. I'm a big man. I got big shoulders.
Congratulations,
somewhere.
Eric and
Yeah,
Starks.
yeah.
You are the
Calling a perfect PLE.
IWC off the mat champion. PLE champion for this week. For this month. This week. I have to say this week because there's a fucking PLE coming up next week. Isn't there?
Yeah.
Listen, I call shenanigans. I think if you're not on this program to give your picks don't count because you could sit there and bribe Sticks. How do we know that Kyle Starks did not bribe Sticks after the match and be
what
like,
comics did he give you? What comics did he send you?
yeah, it'd be like,
Thank-
listen, I just want
Thank you, Leftover.
to be called. I just want to win this championship and say that I won this championship after my second
And
appearance on this show.
I figured it out. Kyle Starks is going to draw Sticks in his latest comic book for the Wrestling Heist, the sequel.
Wrestle Heist
that's
2.
fine. Wrestle Heist 2.
Yeah.
No, it's Sticks. Sticks probably was like, listen, I want you to paint me like Rose from Titanic. But instead of laying on a couch, and only a necklace, I want you to paint me laying in front of a TARDIS with only a sonic screwdriver. That's what I want. I want you to draw that for me, and I will make sure that I cook this championship for you. And you can just
That's great.
give me your picks whenever you want.
I would.
Listen,
And
you
even
know
after
who
the
first
match,
person
I'll
to
just
sign up?
automatically say you won.
The first person to sign up is Mr. Brucifer.
Well, listen, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't take that kind of a painting, but that's not that's nowhere. That's nowhere
exactly
in
how
the
it
truth.
happened.
That's nowhere in the truth.
I think that's exactly what went down.
All right.
I think that's why you're nervous laughing because you got caught.
It's not nervous laughing. That's just laughter.
You got caught taking a bribe.
Damn, Sticks. A
Yeah,
dirty,
like,
dirty.
like
Smut picture.
like,
Just a smut
like,
Doctor
like
Who
the-
picture
like-
of yourself. You sold
like
out
the referee,
a new low,
like
Sticks.
the
You hit
referee
a
taking
new
the money
low.
from $1 Million Man, right?
Yep.
Yep, you hit a new low, Sticks.
Yeah.
No, when freaking Hulk Hogan was fighting $1 Million Man, the freaking referee was changed. And he goes, "How much money did he pay you to get a face to
Yeah.
look like just?"
Yeah, it was his
Back
twin
in the
brother.
day. Yeah. But tell you
That's
something,
that was
brother.
that's still funny to me. That's still funny to me.
It's-
Everyone's got a price. And apparently, Sticks is Doctor Who smut porn.
Yo, Doctor Who. I heard that.
Smut porn.
that you got 5 of the most influential artists going to be drawing Doctor Who covers.
Hey,
Wouldn't you like that?
listen, I've been trying to work that with Mark Spears for almost a year now.
Todd McFarlane said he was going to draw.
What, you've been trying to get Mark Spears to draw you like Rose from
I've been trying
Titanic?
I've been trying to get him. No, not like Titanic.
Just nothing but you in front of a TARDIS with a sonic screwdriver.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
I heard that Frank Miller's willing to draw a Doctor Who cover for you.
Please don't.
Oh, I'm sure Frank Miller would love to do that.
Yeah.
Because there's enough elder abuse with Frank Miller's drawings already.
Anyway, overall, what do you think of the pay-per-view overall?
Overall, I liked Backlash. I think Backlash was a solid pay-per-view. For me, the weakest match was the Danhausen one, and I really only think the Danhausen match was weak because it was positioned right, smack dab in the middle of a 5-match PLE. If it was like a 6 or 7 match where you kind of needed that cooldown match, that comedy match to kind of break things up, break up the monotony, and kind of give you a palate cleanser for what's come next, it would have been fantastic. But I think that because it was on a 5-match PLE, it wasn't good. It was a little over the top and ridiculous. So that's my only knock on it is just the Danhausen match. Otherwise, and it's not even really anything about against Danhausen. It's just the gimmicky match itself.
Yeah.
Again, for me, I that should be on like a the pre-show or like maybe the first, like I said, the first
hour.
Of the free.
One of the first matches in the first hour.
It should have been the first match.
Yeah.
And then people tune in to watch. Oh, well, that was funny. I'll watch the next one, and the next match is a banger. And then you go into the Asuka match, which was a banger, and you'll slow things down when Cena shows up to tote his wares. And then
sadly, the only thing getting banged around here is Kyle Starks banging out a picture of Sticks in a Doctor Who thong with a.
Listen, I have to take all the happiness with that the focus is off of me sometimes when I do something onto you, so that's good. So Matt takes takes this shots at you, man, which is really
Listen,
that's fine.
We come on here week after week and we tote accountability, reliability, and that we will not be fake reactors. And I can't have one of my hosts out here selling his integrity for a Doctor Who smut photo of himself. All right,
man.
Whether he's drawn by a professional artist or not. Okay.
All right.
Doctor Who smut photo just to sully the integrity of the off the mat IWC Internet Predictions Championship. No, congratulations to Kyle and Eric on that big win.
And Eric, man.
Very good.
The door's always open for you guys to show up on him, man.
Sticks is considered the ultimate heel on the internet because his math is always screwing somebody over.
Worse than Steiner math. Worse.
Yeah.
Not even remembering that they showed up.
I would attempt to do that segment right here, but I'll leave that to Steiner. He's got that.
Dear Eric, I just want you to know that your picks are so forgettable that I couldn't even remember that you showed up on the show last week. So therefore, I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Love,
have mercy on your soul. Love
Sticks Boy 73.
Sticks Boy 73.
Smiley face, heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji.
XOXO. All right.
And I know what Eric would say too when I tell him. He'd be like, won't be the first time. It'll be the last.
It won't be the last time.
Somebody forgot me.
I apologize. I do sincerely apologize.
Yeah. And knowing
it's definitely half the battle.
I don't know. I think that's going to warrant a summer suspension for Sticks from the program. I think Sticks is going to be suspended from off the mat for the summer because of his nefarious dealings with Kyle Stark.
You gonna write me off?
Yeah, we're gonna write you off. Yep.
Well, listen.
All right.
We're gonna show WWE how creative is done.
But I see how it works. Brucifer has Mark Spears. You have Kyle Starks. There you go, man.
All right, where do we gotta go from here? Because
Let's do the review, the rundown.
I think you've browbeated me enough.
I've yet to begun to beat you. All right, we're gonna get
We're
gonna get into our 3 count where we review the weekly shows, give you our best moment, worst moment, and what were they thinking moment of the week. And for his just general, just mischievous dealings with Kyle Starks, we're gonna go with Sticks first. Sticks, give us your best moment, worst moment, and what were they thinking moment from last Friday night SmackDown.
All right, so for SmackDown, my best moment is actually using Gunther on the program, having him come in and go at Cody. I mean, it's about time they used him. I don't know if I agree with the Cody Gunther line, but it's been a while since, or not a while, but it's been a small time since Gunther actually showed up and did anything. So I'm glad they finally did bring him in. Worst moment, I don't think I think this is gonna go for worst moment of the year. The whole gingerbread man funeral. God. I couldn't. I just still can't believe that they went and did that. We talked about it on the Backlash when we were talking right before the show. You know, it's the worst thing they've ever done creatively in any era. By what were they thinking? I guess it would be. I guess it would be the Jade Cargill. I don't really have a reasoning for it. She's not in with it, but she's still showing up and putting herself in there. I don't know if they have she's not a tag team person. She's showing up at these tag team matches. You know, yeah, you got Mia Chin and B-Fab. They're the only portion of that. Them showing up would be fine. Because but her, I don't know.
I'm starting to notice a pattern here with Sticks, Dom. Apparently, according to Sticks.
Yes.
Here we go.
According to Sticks, if you show up to something late, your presence is no longer acknowledged by Sticks. All right. So because Jade Cargill just showed up in that match, his presence there was null and void to Sticks, and he doesn't know why she's even there. I kind of feel like that's the same thing he thought about Eric, because he showed up late, that his picks didn't matter, and so therefore you're not even going to account for him being there.
All right, well, we'll see what you guys think. That's just my thought on it. I mean, she put herself into there, but I think that's only because Rhea Ripley was there as well.
Go ahead, Dom. I will defer to you.
Okay, the worst moment. I think of Ricky Saints, Matt Cardona. You know, I feel bad. They brought back Matt Cardona back, and making him a jobber. He's just losing matches and all these things, and also because of the way Ricky Saints debuted 2 weeks ago, he still didn't get the fan reaction that he had against the match, and they were at times I thought they were booing. Really wasn't the crowd wasn't into it. That was my worst match. The best thing, Fatal Influence, man. Fatal Influence. JC Jane got the win again. She beat Alexa Bliss. She was the one that got the pin over Alexa Bliss, which they're really pushing Fatal Influence, you know. And I think that that's basically my best moment, you know, with that. But you know, I do like, you know, the segment, you know, Royce Keys with Tamatoga, right? Tamatoga, right? Tamatanga. I do like that they're trying to build Royce Keys up, this and that. I still think that Royce Keys is definitely going to be something big, and I think that he's going to wind up turning on Jacob Fatu. I think that's going to be a SummerSlam match, unless he's still fighting with Roman. I think after the Roman Reigns, he wins the belt. I think if he wins the belt, then
that might be how he wins the belt.
Yeah, maybe for the time being, and then freaking Solo Sikoa is a secret plan all along. Everything else, Damian Priest looks like shit. I don't like the way they.
Really?
Can you sugarcoat that a little more, Dom?
I'm sorry, man. You're a tag team. You gotta. I know you're trying to.
He just looks like a giant 6'7" pile of dog shit.
I'm just saying that and then so this guy's hurt. I think R-Truth is hurt. I don't know if it's part of the whole thing.
No, he's going out on tour. He's going to be here doing his rap show in like a month or two.
Yeah, so I think they're going to lose the belts. I think they're losing the belts. Come very soon. So yeah, so that's. But actually, you know what? Another thing too is that I actually like the fact that they finally brought back, that they brought back. Oh Jesus Christ, I'm praying for it. Jay Cargill. They brought back Jay Cargill. They brought her back. She was missing off of TV for a little bit.
No, she missed a week.
Yeah, a week. Well, a week seems like a long time when after you lose the belt. Usually they come back the week after. But
I mean, she had a little bit of a much needed rest after WrestleMania. She only missed a week.
I know it seemed longer. All right, I'm sorry, it seemed longer, but not. But overall, SmackDown to me was like a C+.
Jesus Christ, that's being generous.
Yeah.
SmackDown to me was an absolute F. My what were they thinking moment is, why did they even bother putting a SmackDown on in the first place? The gingerbread man thing is an absolute travesty. That's my worst moment of the night, because how are you going to end your go home SmackDown on that funeral to the point where you pan to the crowd and all you see is asses of everybody leaving the arena?
Well, I forgot the gingerbread that was on
because nobody gave a shit.
That was on SmackDown, right?
That was on SmackDown. Yes.
That's how memorable. As much as us freaking Sticks forgot that Eric was on that Eric gave his picks. I forgot that. That's how memorable it was. Yes, that is my worst thing. The freaking gingerbread man thing. Thank you.
Little Yachty is Undertaker sitting up in that coffin in the gingerbread man outfit. All you get is a shot from the crowd at their people's asses walking up the aisleways. As no, they're not going to get another salted pretzel. No, they're not going to buy their Danhausen t-shirts. No, they're not going to get another beer. They are heading for the parking lot because they have said, I cannot believe that I just spent $100 plus on this bullshit.
Yep.
As they walk the fuck out of that arena.
Actually, I forgot about the gingerbread man thing. Mine is a D+.
And my other one is, why are we having? Why are we putting so much push behind Fatal Influence? Like, they should not be beating a team with the women's champion and Rhea Ripley on it. That's just me. That's just my feeling. And poor Matt Cardona, man, just constantly getting eaten up by people, not being able to win. I don't think he's won a match since he's been back in WWE.
Nope.
And my bright spot was Royce Keys versus Tama Tonga. I enjoyed that match for what it was. I'm glad that Royce Keys is getting a little bit of time to shine as things go on, but otherwise it was like an F for me. SmackDown. It was relatively very forgettable SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
See, I forgot about the gingerbread segment. That's what freaking goddamn. That's how bad.
I just talked about it.
I know we did, but I forgot. I was thinking that it was the week before. I thought that this week was a different week. I don't know.
What, you forgot about the people standing?
Oh, they did it 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago,
filing out.
Yeah, but the whole fact is that the whole Tiffany Stratton versus Okay, it's Hannah James. Right?
Kiana James.
Keanu James.
That was a pretty good match. With the whole fact is, they build it up, and eventually the breakup between her and Julia is inevitable. It's going to happen eventually because they were both on the same page. So, but
that SmackDown last week. We already went through. We went through Backlash. Now we're gonna head on to Monday Night Raw. The Raw after Backlash. Dom, give me your best moment, worst moment, and what were they thinking?
Actually, my best moment was the ending, the acknowledgement ceremony. That when you freaking let Jacob Fatu cook, he's gonna freaking goddamn do some crazy shit. And he went off wild, and like that meme I sent you. All gas, no brakes. You better slow down the gas because gas is expensive, man. That meme I sent you.
It's Jacob Fatu by actually consider using the brakes because
for the more,
gas is too expensive.
Gas is too expensive. I thought that was the best thing of the night. He had not. Jimmy and Jay becoming jobbers now. They get destroyed. So Jacob Fatu is destroying everybody. He destroyed Solo and the Tongas and all that stuff like that by himself, and now he destroyed Roman and Jay and Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
What were they thinking? Well, actually, my other thing was the other best moment was the Io Sky versus Silver. I like that match. Like, it was a little slow in the beginning, but then it actually cooked. It was a banger of a match at the end, which I was very surprised that Io won it straight out, which was
it's even better when you watch the edited version.
Yeah. What were they thinking? Come on, man. You already destroyed Obafemi. You already freaking ruined his character. He had to go in the back and grab two wrestlers and just annihilate them. Nobody wants to fight him. There was rumors of Ryback coming back. I would have took the Ryback thing coming back, even though Ryback, you don't care, but that would have been a little interesting.
Right. I think Ryback burned his bridge with WWE with all the
shit. I know, but he's actually been really good with WWE talking really like on the same page. He hasn't been talking bad shit. He hasn't smack talk, but that would have been a better freaking a better match than him going in the back and grabbing people. That's you fucking ruining Obafemi. You're ruining him. This open challenge shit is garbage, man. Stop it. It's garbage.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on the Obafemi thing. I mean, honestly, we're 2 weeks into it and we're already abandoning ship on the Obafemi open challenge. Having him beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania was the wrong choice. It should have been later on. It should have been at down the line at of all places, SummerSlam. But having him beat Brock Lesnar and face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania really pigeonholed him in the corner, and now they got nothing to do with him. At least against Otis the week before, it was fun watching him throw Otis around because Otis looks like a fucking walrus. So, they're throwing Otis around. He's a big dude, and now you got him out there going against having to go in the back and gorilla and just pull two guys that are just happen to be standing there. I guess Los Garza drew the short straw this week. So that was the worst moment of the week for me. The what were they thinking moment of the week is the way SmackDown or the way Raw ended. I like what Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns are doing. It's intriguing to me. I want more of this. I want another match between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. But we got to do something else with this angle. We got to do something else with the Samoans. We can't have every single Raw end in the same spot. We can't have every single Raw end with the Samoan going through a table. And a terrible, just absolute terrible announce table spot in its own right. where the announce table looks like it's falling apart, like somebody just kicked over a kid's Legos.
Yeah.
They gotta get something, another finish, another end, another way to send Raw off the air. I don't care that it was the Samoans fighting. I don't care that it was Jacob Fatu absolutely destroying Roman Reigns. I'm all for that. My problem is we don't need it to end with a Samoan going through an announce table.
Hey, listen, Matt, you said the same thing with the Vision when the Vision was ending every show.
It's lazy.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the same finish, but it's lazy, and you don't need to finish that way. You don't always have to finish inside. Sometimes it's all right to finish on her chest or his chest, whatever your flavor is. Looking at you, Sticks.
The partner's chest.
No tummy pancakes.
No tummy puddles. That's a good Kyle callback right there. No tummy pancakes.
No tummy pancakes.
All right, Sticks. Best moment. And my best moment was, I like Sol Ruco and Io. It was a little slow to begin with, but it did cook. It did pick up.
Yep.
I just don't like that they're burying Sol. What were they thinking? How are you not moving your storyline along with matches? Why is it that Becky Lynch, you felt the need to have to put the title back on Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, then she misses the Raw after Mania, comes back to the next Raw, then misses another Raw. So since WrestleMania, she's only made one Raw in the 3 weeks since WrestleMania. And how do you not use that to progress the storyline and set up whoever her next competitor is, whether it's going to be Io again or whether it's going to be Sol Ruca? Missed opportunity, creative as shite.
Yep.
There's my 3.
But then you have Becky Lynch run into Sol Ruca after she lost and made a comment. She should have interfered to build that thing up. But
I like, listen, that's probably one of my spots was you get her talking to Io, to Sol Ruca, calling Io Giannetti. That's just I don't know how you can't just laugh at that because of the whole thing. I'm surprised they even say his name on TV. Last name, from Marty Jannetty. I don't.
Yeah.
So, best moment for me is what was it here? Ethan Page, the Intercontinental Penta Javon, Ethan and Rusev. I like that match. I thought that was a good match.
I like Ethan Page on the mic, man. He's really good. He's really good.
Yep. Worst moment. I said it earlier already, and that's the whole. It's a good spot, but having it be nothing more than that. Her walking away with that Io and Asuka, I think is a missed opportunity. Maybe that should be my what were they thinking? Because that's a missed opportunity for her to either address the crowd or have something a little bit more than just her hugging Io and walking away. I guess I'll put that in my what were they thinking, because that's a missed opportunity for Asuka. Give her a better send off than that. So, let me change my words.
She lost the match to Io Sky, and lost, and she turned face, and she.
Yeah, but it's.
She goes, I go home now.
Yeah, I go home now. Yeah. Well,
she said, I gotta go home. It's getting really dark.
Mm-hmm.
The sun's getting real low there, big guy. It's time for me to go home.
My worst moment, and let me know if you guys agree with this. El Grande Americano Original versus Dominic Mysterio.
You got to come original. You got to come original.
Why is El Grande getting a AAA championship match on the main roster?
Why not?
Exactly. He hasn't earned any. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're not earning anything anymore. They don't earn anything anymore in WWE.
Yeah, he earned it, man. Remember, he learned how to learn the moves in the street.
know, it was a nothing match that we knew, or you should have known that he wasn't going to win, because they're not going to take that belt off of Dominic anytime soon. And they definitely him having these he has in place in AAA. If you don't know, for this mass versus mass, they have a stipulation that El Grande Americano and El Grande Americano Original can't touch each other. Apparently, that's only in AAA, because now that they in the main roster, they can have fights and
they can grope
mess with each other and
yeah.
So that just accentuates. I'm going to use a big word there. Accentuates the fact that WWE main roster and AAA are two separate entities.
Because it's funny because I figured El Grande Americano, not the original, is face over there. He's a face. People love him.
Right. So when you go down to AAA, he's the one everyone's cheering, and when he come here, he's getting booed.
Yep. It's funny.
I boo you.
I boo you. You, I boo.
It sticks. That's good announcement. Do you want a hot dog?
No, thank you. I'll take it.
Take it.
So there you go. That's my Raw.
All right. What about NXT? Did you guys check out NXT this week?
I did.
Tina Paxley and Lizzie Rain. I really like Lizzie Rain's friggin' like enthusiasm. The way she's like bigger than the world. The type of wrestling. People love her. Like off the bat, people think they definitely there's a thing, the crowd connection with her. Of course, you got the friggin' I think that was the best thing. The other matches, like I was in and out watching the other stuff. Nakaru pure is Pure Evil. That was a good match, but it was a short match. That was pretty short. That wasn't
Yeah, it was short.
it wasn't that long of a match. You blink and it was over. When I turned around, it was over with. Bright Right versus EK Prosper and Sean Legacy and Tate Wilder. That was an okay match. It's usually what it is, man. You get too many people involved in a match sometimes. Like those big matches they have in like the 8-man tag team, the 10-man. It's kind of, and that was okay. It wasn't great, but yeah. No, other than that, you got the. Like I said, I think Tina Paxley and Lizzie Rain, they got good chemistry together as a tag team. But I like Lizzie Rain. I think she's gonna be next big thing. Nakia Lyons, she's like freaking singing songs and she's doing all these things, and the way they're pushing that character is kind of funny. And I like Nikita. I like her. But it's like I love like creative. The way creative. All right, you're gonna be doing this. You're gonna do that. This is your character. You're like all over the place. I like it. Yeah. Other than that, the segment, the backstage segments. You only had a couple of matches, man. That's another thing. The limited matches. It
was 4 matches,
something like that. Yeah. Yeah. But,
One, 2.
Yeah, you get 2.
That wasn't really a match. 3 and 4.
3.
Yeah, 4 matches.
Yeah. Signs the contract. You got Mason Nook signs the contract. He's gonna be, he came out again. It's a shame that nobody really knows. Yeah, you get 4 matches.
Yeah, because the Rook match, it wasn't a match. It was just a signing.
Yeah, actually 5 matches. You had Connie Jordan versus Kendall Gray, and she fought. That was a pretty good match. Other than that,
Fine.
yeah. Yeah.
If you didn't notice, I will interject. NXT. This was the first episode they put up on the YouTube channel.
Yes. Hey, Brandon, what's up, buddy, man? Yeah, WWE is not as good as it used to be. Of course. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
Creative, man. Creative.
Right.
They need to get up the heads at the asses and fucking do some good work. Get off the AI shit.
Yeah. Since Matt's gone, I'll go next. I'm going to start with the what are they thinking, and I'm going to go into that Mason Rook. I hate contract signings.
I know
But
contract signings.
Also, if you're going to have a guy doing an assault off the top rope,
yeah,
make sure people know where their mark is.
Yeah.
True. Not everybody made their mark on his moonsault off the top rope there. There was a couple guys that just kind of fell because they were off to the side.
Yeah. That's a lot of mishaps too, man. I say, but it's all right. They can't, like you said, getting the chemistry together with these. Like I said, there's a lot of promising people at NXT, man. Definitely.
But that's. I'm going to give him a pass because it's only his second week, and they probably don't have. It's the chemistry, but it's also the ring, your ring, whatever they call it, who set up, and they work the match ahead of time. They're supposed to say, "Hey, this is your spot. Know where your spot is." That's part of the game with pro wrestling. You got
think about it. You go up to the rope, you go to the top of the rope, and you jump off. Sometimes that spot, you don't see that spot. You're jumping off. You're thinking about freaking getting that flip over that you want to make sure that you land on the person or you don't get hurt yourself.
Oh, I'm not talking about Rook. I'm talking about the people on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the catchers, the people who are supposed to be there to catch you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
But dude, try to catch
Rook did fine.
Try to catch these people.
Oh, I know, but there's four. It's supposed to be 4 in one spot.
Yeah.
And there's only 2. That's the difference between the guy getting caught or the guy breaking his leg.
Yeah, true.
So,
but
you gotta be better with that. My worst moment of the week is I just had it here. Where is it? I guess it was that the length of the what are they called now?
Backstage segments.
No, Mason Rook.
No, Nakayama. No, Nakaru.
Nakayama.
Yeah.
Naraku.
Yeah, the Naraku match. It was short, but he wasn't fighting anybody of stature either. So
eventually get up there.
But I do like him. So far, I like him.
Yep.
I'm gonna go back and watch some of his stuff in New Japan. So we'll go from there. My best moment is it's gonna be multiple moments for NXT, and it's the storyline setups of note. Where in the first one we get the whole Zarya and Nikita Lyons. Nikita Lyons is showboating. Zarya doesn't like it. She leaves her to fend for herself, and that sets up Zarya versus Nikita Lyons somewhere in the future. I like that. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then the what's her name there? The 80s chick there.
Oh, Lizzie Rain.
Lizzie Rain. That match was a good match, and I really like the way they worked that match. So I think they're NXT did good with their women's division this week. So that's my best moment. Their women's division was on point. So
Nice. It sounds like you both thoroughly enjoyed NXT.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good night. But better than it had been in some past. So
I loved me some Lizzie Rain and Tatum Paxley defeating Nikita Lyon and Zarya. I really hope Zarya gets a bigger push. I wish Zarya would get rid of the face makeup because she's an absolute smoke show. I don't care about Dark State. Dark State's probably a worse moment for me. I don't care that they're going through issues or they're becoming the Shield 2.0. Dark State is just fucking boring to me.
I already talked about that though.
I don't care about Noam Dar coming back. But I did Kalani Jordan defeating Jordan. Right. Dude, what were they thinking for me is the Mason Rook thing, because nobody has a clue who this guy is, and they're trying so hard to get him over, and he's surrounded in the ring by all these security guards, and he's jumping around all the place and throwing people around. I don't know what happened to Tony D'Angelo, but he came out and he cut probably one of the worst promos in NXT he's cut in a long time with Mason Rook. You got this dude just talking in the ring, and nobody cares. Nobody, you give nobody a reason to care about this
dude. They should show video packages of this guy.
Yes, they should have something. There's no Tony D'Angelo is probably really the only most notable. Like, we're in a time in NXT where it reminds me of like when everybody came over and you were left with Obafemi, Trick Williams, where Trick Williams was like the only face left when they called up Carmelo Hayes and they called up everybody else and they gave you Obafemi, they gave you Javon Evans. You got all these new faces where they had to rebuild NXT. We're very much in an NXT rebuilding era and rebuilding phase, especially with like Nakaru and Lizzie Rain and Tony D'Angelo. That's kind of it. So they've got a lot of work to do in NXT with a lot of no names that they have to try to make this crowd and these fans care about. And you're trying to make us care about a dude that we haven't even seen wrestle. You have not shown any video packages for, and he's only getting over because John Cena shared something about him on social media, and relatively, people on social media pages were sending shit about him.
That's not how you get someone over.
No, I mean, you should show pictures
with a tweet.
You want to know who this guy is, and you show the indie scene what he did in the UK indies, and freaking make a cool package, but with like stuff in the back and this and that, and that people could see what this guy's about. People are like, who the hell is this guy?
Right.
Brandon, welcome in, Brandon. Brandon says, best moment on Raw was 2 matches announced for Saturday Night Main Event. Worst moment was Sol Ruka's loss in her debut with no Becky Lynch. So it wasn't her debut. Her debut was actually against Liv Morgan the night after WrestleMania. But I get what you're saying.
Well, her debut was against Bayley. She beat Bayley.
Well, no, her main roster debut was technically against Liv Morgan.
So you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And what were they thinking was Obafemi Open Challenge? Yeah, I agree with you on all aspects there as well. AEW was much better than Raw this week, in my opinion, as well. Well, did you give your best, worst, and what were they thinking moments, Dom, for NXT?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, we did.
So we'll scroll on into Dynamite. Did any of you guys watch Dynamite?
I watched a little bit of of Dynamite. The Darby Allin and MJF segment. But you know what, Brandon's right. The dialogue is getting a little bit better. The back with John Moxley and Ospreay.
I mean, I really liked. For me, the best moment of the night was the AEW World Championship match: Darby Allin versus Kakashi Teshikita.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good. But
that was a good match.
The backstage stuff was good. Everything has to have a backstage stuff.
I'm gonna say for me, worst moment was the TNT Open Challenge because I'm kind of tired of open challenges.
Yeah. Same here.
Nothing
Man.
against Speedball Mike Bailey or Kevin Knight or in the return of Brian Cage. I just think that, I'm just kind of over open challenges, but what I don't really have a what were they thinking moment from AEW, because I kind of feel like Dynamite was a solid show. It wasn't like anything crazy, but it doesn't have to be like a Raw after WrestleMania caliber show. It was good for what it was. It was a decent Dynamite. It actually got me to sit there and watch all of Dynamite. So I would say it was a job well done. It did a lot more than Monday Night Raw did.
Right.
So
Right.
That's for me. And then we'll hand it over to Sticks for heat check. What are you hot on and what are you cold on this week, Sticky boy?
All right. So let's see here. I'll add it up. All right. So this week on I picked a couple things. One's kind of a little longer, but all right. So this week, I think we might have talked about it a little bit last week. The whole AEW TV deal drama, how they're facing challenges with Warner Brothers, the Warner Brothers deal, and a potential move to like a lot of these shows are. They're putting their stuff on YouTube, and they're making revenue off of that in smaller portions. But I don't know. Do you think there's anything to it? Do you think AEW is going to stick with where they're at, or will Warner Brothers?
They've already been told by Paramount. I think Paramount has no interest in renewing their contract, so they're not going to drop them right now. But they're not going to renew the AEW TV contract when it's up. I think in 2027. I want to say,
next
or
year.
maybe so. Yeah, they're going to have to find a new streaming home. But the problem is the major players for professional wrestling are WWE adjacent, TKO adjacent. Paramount has a huge deal with TKO for UFC. They're not going to go against UFC and TKO and have AEW remain on Paramount because they're going to do away with HBO Max. So they're not going to have AEW remain on Paramount or TBS and TNT when they own those networks. Really their only shot is Fox. Fox really had no interest in them, from what I'm understanding. And then WWE's with Netflix, so you're not going to have Netflix pick them up. Maybe Amazon, but Amazon doesn't seem to have any interest in getting in the professional wrestling game either. So like, where are they going to go? Roku, Tubi works with WWE, so I don't know if they'll go to Tubi.
Tubi, Tubi's a lot of things going on on Tubi.
There's not a whole lot out there as far. AMC got in the professional wrestling business with TNA, so that's a WWE working partner, TKO working partner. So they're not going to go there. So yeah, really, where are they going to go? And I think that's the problem with this Warner Brothers Discovery deal. And Paramount it's going to put such a stranglehold on, media rights and shit that where's the AEW going to go? They're going to get pretty much forced out and got nowhere to go unless some sleeper comes in and, says, hey, we'll do a deal with you, but who's that going to be with?
Right. But it would have to be someone.
Peacock, NBC, like is NBC going to take, they're hurting. Word is since WWE left Peacock subscriber base is hurting. So could we see AEW on NBC on Peacock? Potentially.
Yeah, but they still, as of right now, they do still do the Saturday Night's Main Event. Because Saturday Night's Main Event coming up will be on Peacock. So I don't know. I don't know where you put them. Put them on I don't know, and WGN. Put them on some local, give them like a local.
Put them on Bronx Net.
Syndication.
That's freaking the Bronx Network.
The Bronx Network. The Yes Network. I don't know.
You know what?
But you're right. There's really no player else for them to go, and YouTube right now is where a lot of these promotions, independent as well, are dropping all their stuff. So I guess we'll see. I think we got like a year left on their TNT contract. So as far as can I come on move forward here? Well, what's cold this week? I thought I'd go into. Is it not going to move for me? Why isn't it moving?
I figure SmackDown has been bad the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, here we go. So for what's not, I thought we'd go through the last 3 weeks, or respectively, of programming, and show you where the viewership lies, because the viewership is kind of important for these shows. Right at the top, we're going to go right into SmackDown. April 17th, they had 1.5 million viewers. April 24th, it dipped down to 1.27. And then May 1st, 119. So as you see there, they lost 31, lost another 12 for a total market loss of 43 million people in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. AEW Dynamite, 61.7K. 617K. April 22nd, April 29th, dipped down to 596, a loss of 21,000 people. And May 6th, dipped down another 6. So total market loss of 27,000 people for AEW Dynamite in a loss. AEW Collision, 423K on the 11th of April. 25th of April, dipped down to 397. What's that? A loss of 26. And then May 23rd, down to 347, another 50,000 for a 76,000 loss in viewership for Collision. All right. NXT, 591,000 on the April 21st episode. 541,000 for the 28th. A loss of 50,000 viewers. And then on the May 5th, it shot up to 641 for a gain of 100,000 viewers, but that was a total gain of 50,000 for that 3 weeks. So they gained viewership on NXT, which has been good because they have been dipping for a while there. All right. Collision, I don't have this week's Collision in yet, but Collision on April 25th, 397,000. And then on May 2nd, they had 347,000, which was a loss of 50,000 viewers.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Brandon. I didn't think of Apple TV. I completely forgot about Apple TV.
Oh, Apple TV.
Apple TV.
That's a good one. That's a good mention. Yeah, that would work. TNA, 175,000, shot up to 209,000, which gained 29,000, and then on the May 7th, it went back down to 164,000. So a total 3 week loss of 11,000. And then here we have the raw figures. This is from the last month, but it kind of shows you that they've been holding strong at like around 2.9 million viewers on the global Raw. And then they gained a little bit there on the 20th. I think that was because was that right after WrestleMania, that May 20th? Yeah. or April 20th. So the viewership is dipping as we keep going through this year. NXT was the only one that really gained viewers as you through that 3-week span. So with I'll ask the panel, with viewership kind of dipping and going down, are we surprised?
Well, it's wrestling overload too. There's a lot of wrestling. People forget. Sure. I forget that TNA is on Thursday nights. It sucks. I would like to see more TNA episodes. Collision. Once in a while I'll catch a Dynamite or Collision. AEW. Happy birthday, Brandon. 29 years old. That's a great year. 29.
Yep.
Yeah. In NXT, people there's a lot of people in there still watching it. Even though the freaking roster was depleted from the main roster. But I don't know. Hey Matt, do you think the overload of wrestling events and shows on TV, is hurting a lot of the wrestling things? Like I keep forgetting TNA's on Thursday nights. Which TNA is definitely I like to catch more of those shows down the road, but like you have Dynamite, you have AEW, Collision, you got NXT, you got the SmackDown, you got Raw, you got AAA. You want to sit there and watch all the shows you possibly can, but it gets a little overwhelming with all the wrestling that you do get. You can't watch everything. You could, not to say you can't, but you could.
There was one point.
You gonna answer for me, Sticks? You gonna answer for me, Sticks?
No, go ahead.
I'll answer. No, Sticks, you don't talk enough. Go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
I was just gonna say at one point there wasn't a lot of wrestling, and then we, as the last 10 years, we'll say 5-10 years since AEW showed up, it's kind of ramped up because now you get all your indie promotions. And I just talked about it. You get putting themselves on YouTube and putting themselves out there so that you can view their matches and see what they're doing. Now you kind of get inundated with it because you can watch it, wherever it may be. You can watch it all times of the day and all days of the week now. So it might play a part in that. You're right.
Real quick, big shout out to Brandon. Happy birthday, man. Turning 29 tomorrow.
Like I said,
happy
great
birthday,
year.
Dude.
Great year.
Yeah, I hope you have a great birthday, man. And you do get your dream of Asuka, Io Sky, and Kyrie Sane on your birthday. Just hopefully it's not a wet one. Happy birthday to you, man. Happy 29th birthday. Yeah. Enjoy it.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
And to answer Dom's question, before Sticks also tried to pay me off and chime in, I got a message here from Sticks that says, "Hey, I don't appreciate you outing my backdoor deals with Kyle Starks as far as it goes with the off the mat results.
Hey,
how are you going to air my dirty laundry in public? I got to try and make money somehow. These whatnot sales are not working. I understand half the time it's because I don't show up for my own scheduled streams. But after that, it doesn't matter what you tell me or say. I'm making these deals. You've got to deal with it. It's my segment. Get over it. Love, Sticks."
Damn, Sticks. Yo, listen, I'm seeing you in a whole new light, man. I've never seen you like this before.
Okay.
But to answer the question that was presented to me by Dom, do I think that we're inundated with professional wrestling? No. The professional wrestling fan is a loyal one. They are going to sit there and watch professional wrestling if it's presented. Now, the problem is good professional wrestling. And I think the problem with TNA is that we have become accustomed as to professional wrestling being live. TNA, I believe, is not live. I believe it is pre-taped. So I do believe they have some live shows, but I do believe they also have it as taped. I think it's the quality of professional wrestling. And it's also people are not used to watching the product, the TNA product on a channel like AMC. AMC is known for primarily what? The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, things like that. They're not known for professional wrestling the same way that, TBS or TNT was, that USA Network was, that Fox is, and now Netflix. They have to find it's all about good professional wrestling too. I don't think people are going to sit there and invest they already invest their time in a shit ass product on Fridays. They already invest their time in a shit ass product on Mondays. Now you're asking people to invest in a product on Wednesday and Thursday, and that's kind of where you're getting people to draw the line. That's why you have AEW sickos, and that's why you have WWE defenders. I don't think the professional wrestling fan like us likes to consume professional wrestling. It's like a comic book series. You consume it, but you bail on it when it sucks, and you come back when it's great. It has sucked so bad all across the board in every company so far that there's just, why sit there and devote all of your time to watching professional wrestling?
Yeah, look, we got a super chat.
Yeah, got a super chat there from Golf Franchise with a big 99.99 that says K100 is reporting that AEW signed a 5-year streaming contract with Roku, and their pay-per-views will air on Roku's premium channel, the Howdy channel, via sources at Paramount Studios after the Turner deal. Wow. I have not seen that yet. If you have a link to that and can drop that in the chat, that'd be sweet. Appreciate that $9.99 bomb.
Appreciate
that. Definitely. I have not seen anything about an AEW TV deal yet. So.
Not yet. Wow. All right.
Let's see. Let's use the power of the internet.
Let's see.
I don't know. I hadn't heard this either. So.
Okay. So it says, as of May 2026, AEW has launched its My AEW streaming platform on Roku and Roku TV. This app provides international fans with live access to Dynamite, Collision, Ring of Honor, along with pay-per-view bundles and a 24/7 fast channel, solidifying its presence on major connected TV devices. Yeah, so that's just because they have not had AEW in Europe. They have not been able to watch it. They've had nowhere to watch it, I guess. So that's what that is. It doesn't sound like it's an actual TV deal for Dynamite. It's just part of their My AEW. Like it's essentially their WWE app, or WWE network. So you can subscribe. That we were talking. Styx talked about that a few weeks ago, I think, where they were doing that, where you had to pay some ridiculous amount of money for different tiers. And you get like the pay-per-views and all that stuff included. It's 3 paid tiers in the US, Canada, Mexico, and India, including a $7.99 a month TV plan and a $19.99 a month pay-per-view plan. So
what?
So there you go. Maybe they'll just
thank you again.
Appreciate it. We definitely appreciate you dropping that 10 bomb and hanging out, man.
That might go along with it. Now, I'm sure you've also read that, and Dom will know this, that the AEW just filed a lawsuit against Triller, which used to be Fight TV, because they said they were mishandling their funds. They were skimming off the top, as it were, with their pay-per-view money.
Like who? AEW filed that?
AEW did, yeah.
All right, well, continue on, Styx. I don't want to keep interrupting you.
Keep going. So this was just a kind of a look in to show where your favorite wrestling program is headed. Some if not most are down. Like I said, only the NXT really gained anything in the last 3 weeks. And it isn't, it isn't SmackDown level, but even SmackDown is losing viewership. The rats are jumping off the sinking ship.
Yeah, the last 3 weeks of SmackDown have been really
abysmal.
Terrible.
Abysmal.
Dismal, terrible, freaking goddamn obnoxious, asinine. You want to put it? It's just
not worth watching. It's not worth watching.
You know, you got 3 hour show, and you told me you can't have other wrestlers that you're not using on the show. It's 3 fucking hours.
I will caveat our statements by saying the wrestlers are still good, but their storylines and what they've got them doing have been a lot of shit. A lot of shit. I'll always say that the wrestlers are doing their job. Just that what the job that they're being given isn't the greatest.
Yeah.
And it again boils into creative. If there is such a thing over there at SmackDown.
All right, 6 minutes. Thank you, man. This is a very
yeah. Thank you guys for watching and appreciate the time.
Good job, Sticks.
Good job, man.
Crushed it.
It sticks
I don't know if that means YouTube TV also or not, Brandon.
You know, come and think of it. If you were to think about it, YouTube wouldn't be a bad idea for AEW. You know, it opened up the door for other options. You know, like podcast, YouTube style, type of media and stuff like that actually could work in their favor. You know, the views.
I think so too.
The views and clicks, because you see when you see like the results of the shows on YouTube, you get a lot of views.
And gentlemen, start your engines.
Those are very good. And you get like a lot of views, like shows that get like you look at like the wrestling review shows, they get a lot of clicks. So if AEW had the right shows, and the AAA has been pretty good on YouTube, if you really think about it, so it might work in their favor. Have a little contract with that for a little bit until you find a network that actually definitely is willing to pay. And like Apple TV, look, okay, so Apple TV could be their savior.
Well, but that's the other problem, is that there's early word out there that WWE is shopping to try and get U.S. television rights for AAA. So where's AAA going to go?
Sure.
Hey, Apple TV?
No, I don't think they'll go to Apple TV. I would say maybe Netflix. Does Disney
I think Netflix is looking to buy more wrestling content.
Does Disney want to get in the wrestling business?
And Disney is in the wrestling business. They have a package with ESPN. They signed a.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're right. WWE. So yeah, I mean, yeah, but they could put.
How about this? How about Disney itself?
AAA on
how about on Disney itself? You put AAA on Disney, like you have a thing, and that could actually work because Disney likes, he likes the that type of atmosphere, like wrestling. Wrestling. Think about it. It's a big comic book hero. You get these guys dressed up as clowns and freaking iguanas and stuff like that. That actually will bring in the kids, and it's about the wrestling is always about the kids. And look, Disney always wanted to really take in some wrestling. Yeah, ESPN, you get the package deal, this and that, but to have an actual show that comes on Disney Plus.
I mean, I really think that your only only bet right now would be trying to convince Fox to give you a TV deal, or try and get like you said, Apple TV or Amazon Prime Video.
Okay.
But
I think that see, WWE, they can go elsewhere. They can go elsewhere and have different platforms everywhere. But I think Netflix would be a good deal for them too. You come to Netflix, a Saturday night show on Netflix, Saturday night, AAA wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You probably get some stuff.
Well, I mean, they did that with Access TV used to do New Japan.
Yeah,
like 1 a.m. on Fridays or something like that.
Who does it now? It's
I think they have their
channel
own
that does it.
app now.
Oh, it's their own app now. Okay,
Yeah.
I was thinking
But-
that there was a channel.
All right, boys. Anything else you wanna cook on before we head out of here?
No, just maybe go over just the house shows again, which is a very good idea. I'm happy that they're doing that. That's something that that needed to be rectified because, like I said, the house shows killed a lot of stuff. Not having house shows messed up a lot of things. And now look, you have house shows. You're going to need talent for the house shows. So you're right. Some of the people that are laid off could actually probably benefit from the house shows to keep their the bloods, creative bloods, flowing to make them better when they go back on TV. Their presence is a much better time on TV. But we'll see what happens. And I think it was Brandon earlier. He mentioned that that Roman Reigns is now scheduled for Clash in Italy.
So I've heard conflicting things about that. I heard that he is not going to be in Clash in Italy. No, it was and Night of Champions. That he is being advertised for those shows, but he is not going on the European tour that they're going to be on before that. So unless he's just going to show up for that pay-per-view, and he's being promoted for the Night of Champions for the Saudi Arabia, but they're saying that he's not scheduled to work Night of Champions, but that's probably going to have to change because Night of Champions is champion versus champion, right? So you're supposed to have...
And that's what they're saying. They want to have Gunther.
Actually, no, that's Crown Jewel that's champion versus champion, isn't it?
Yeah, Crown Jewel. Yeah, Crown Jewel. But when it's Crown Jewel, the next Crown Jewel.
I don't know.
You don't know?
October?
But like I said, the rumor,
maybe it's, I can't remember which one it is because I know they have a stupid title belt.
Yeah, that's Crown Jewel.
I feel like I feel like it's
that,
Crown Jewel. I feel like because Seth Rollins beat Cody Rhodes for it.
Cody Rhodes beat Gunther.
Yeah,
the last time. So that's why, and they want.
I can't keep all this shit straight.
Yeah, they want Gunther to win the fight against Roman Reigns. So that's one of the things they've been talking about. So who knows what's going to happen with?
Well, they've been jumbling them around too. Like now we don't have Money in the Bank.
Yeah, Money in the Bank isn't until after SummerSlam this year. So
yeah,
well, listen, but that's about it, man. Really,
when we should really be gearing up towards Money in the Bank right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
but. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight in the chat. As always, your participation. Golf Franchise, thank you again for that big $9.99 bomb. We appreciate your super chats. It goes a long way to help the channel, help us get clips out and do our thing. Guys, we've been putting a lot more, we've been putting a lot more time and effort into this, releasing clips, releasing shorts. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the shorts that we're putting out every week or every day so far. I didn't do one today just because I knew we were doing the show. But yeah, thanks to Brandon, thanks to Zaggy, thanks to
Big Golf Franchise. Thank you so much.
Yeah, again, appreciate it.
Chat.
Guys, that's gonna do it for us. If you want more from Styx and Dom, make sure to head over to our partner channel, Renovision. You can find a link to them down below and check them out tomorrow night on The Qualified. If you're into comic books, you can check me and Styx out Saturday night for SNS. For our pop culture show there. You can check out Dom if you like Star Wars and want to talk Star Wars. Go over to Renovision Sunday nights to check Dom out there and give him some support and love in that Star Wars chat because God knows he needs it. You can catch Styx every Tuesday night on his channel if you're a Doctor Who fan and see who else he's going to try to bribe to get Doctor Who paraphernalia for him to done because there's not enough of it. And if you want more from me, well, you can check me out here each and every day, releasing all kinds of comic book, professional wrestling, and pop culture related stuff right here on my channel. If you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and turn that notification bell on so you know whenever we go live because we bring you breaking news, bring you all kinds of great professional wrestling goodness each and every day as fast as possible and as soon as we can. And with that note, Dom, take us out with some words of wisdom for the week.
With everything in life, like training, being the best at your job, and overall consistency. focus, drive, and discipline get you a long way if you decide to do those things in life. And you can do it if you put your mind to it.
You can accomplish anything when you put your mind to it.
Exactly. Just about anything.
Just about, yeah. I mean, even then.
All right. Well, again, if this is the first time finding us before we head out, we are Off the Mat. We do this every Thursday. We give you our honest, real takes on the professional wrestling business. No fluff, no fake overreaction. We give it to you hard, fast, and straight as we can. And we're not always negative. We're going to say something negative. We try to give some positive spin on it and say, well, this is what I think they should do in return to keep it 100. So if this is your first time finding us, welcome. And if you hit that like and subscribe button, we greatly appreciate it. But on that note, have a great week, everybody. We'll see you right back here next Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, for another brand new episode of Off the Mat.